Today we're rating custom Magic the Gathering cards on Reddit. And apparently the first card is literally Reddit. For a red 2 generic, we have an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters, starting with you, each player may put a +1/+1 counter or a -1/-1 counter on it. What? Oh, you upvote. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can either upvote the creature, you can downvote the creature. You might even downvote it enough that it perishes. It just dies. Yeah, it's basically a voting thing. Yeah, you get to upvote the thing. Oh, that's actually, I think that's amazing. I have to think about that one. You know what? If it wasn't for if it wasn't for the upvote symbol on the Reddit belly, I might not have even caught it in the first place. That's great. So yeah, so everyone can vote for the creature living or dying. So when you play a creature, make sure it either has 4 toughness or it's not completely lethal. This is incredibly creative in my opinion. Okay, so I love this card. I've literally read it. Okay, our first super chat from today. Oh, no, sorry, we have a bingo card. Okay, we got the new custom bingo card by Ferginka. Okay, more than a 10/10, 5 words in the card type. I don't even know why anyone would do that for a custom card. Discussing the rules. Type creature only, 4+ single color mana symbol and mana cost. New creature type. Chaos ensues. Learn grammar. I'm not going to learn any grammar on this show. Yu-Gi-Oh card Snowland. Oh, we all know Winter Fox got that covered. It might as well be the free space. Oh, Majra is the free space. 3-hour plus stream, recycled old mechanic. 5+ words in name. What's going on with the casting cost? Another haste menace. Too much X. Super chat just to complete bingo. And then legend doesn't apply. Majra Dono to Pejman. Wooburg card, anime card, 15+ mana. That's so specific, and Nika can't read cards. All right, so I don't think we got anything of that literally read. We got nothing. So we're gonna move on to our first super chat of the day. Will Anderson with Nymphomorphosis. So of course, join my Discord. Postcards in the custom place. Super chat. Nymphomorphosis. Then give you the name of the title of the card, and we can share your card with everybody today. Nymphomorphosis is a blue-white green aura. Enchant instant or sorcery spell with flash. You control enchanted spell. It's very different. It's almost like a commandeer. Enchanted spell is a dryad creature spell with power and toughness 0/2 and tap. Copy the spell. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. So we're basically just saying, okay, hold on, you control. So basically we're stealing their card, and then we can make copies for eternity. I think this is a bit broken, if I were to think about this. So you get to steal their card. I mean, it's already a counter spell, and it's already a threat under your control. And you can make perpetual threats, too. Copy of this card, may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. I think, yeah, I think it's pretty close to broken. Like, we already have a card called Commandeer, which, by the way, makes you sack 2 blue cards in your hand. You got to exile 2 blues just to play that. And it only hits non-creature spells. This hits anything. Enchant instant or sorcery spell. Okay, so it's still Commandeer, but cheaper, and you can perpetually play it for forever. All right, so hold on. We do got one thing. Where is it? Where's Nikachu can't read cards. Okay, so I don't know why this bingo square is so cut off. Why can't I scroll up smoothly here? Okay, so on Nikachu can't read cards. This is taken off the bingo. I've been gotten, people. I've been gotten. Oops. That's interesting, turning spells into creatures. What, that can repeatedly make other creatures? I think that's a bit insane. So, does that actually work? Who knows? We understand the thing. We understand the concept. You can cast you make a copy of your spell that's like a creature. Back to the freebie section. We got Nadu, September Surprise. Oh, because it got banned. It's Teamer now. We've added a red to it. The Bird Wizard Pirate. Oh, we've added the combination of Dockside to it. 3/4 flyer. Creatures you control have whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability. Create a copy of Dockside, Extortionist. You may cast the copy if this is the second time. Create a copy of Mana Crypt. What the hell is it? What is going on here? If this is the third time, create a copy of Jeweled Lotus. You may cast the copy. This is complete nonsense. This is basically the Nadu, the band bringer. It brings on band cards. Yeah, complete meme card. Do we have meme on here? Is there anything called meme? Meme? Do we have a meme card? Learn grammar, chaos ensues. More than a 10-10. Discussing the rules. Oh, we discussed the rules with the last one. I don't know if it is worth discussing. Another Haste Menace. I actually don't think we hit anything else here. I don't know if we're hitting anything else. That's basically it. Yeah, the band bringer. It brings on band cards, so absolutely not. No print. Not on my watch, that's for sure. Okay, next up, we've got the Damn Jaws. Send in the Pinkertons. Is that literally a card you made? As usual, we will do anyone who has a series of cards, we will do that after the sponsored segment. Send in the Pinkertons is a 4-mana instant. Unlock a door to target room you don't own. Search their library of that room's owner. Choose a card that you don't own inside or outside the game from that library. Exile that card and any card with the same name in each player's hand, graveyard, and library face down. Then they shuffle their library. Create a treasure token for each card exiled this way. I don't understand this card completely. What is even going on here? Okay, wait, unlock a door to target room you don't own. Okay, I understand that part. Search the library of that room's owner. Choose a card that you don't own inside or outside the game from that library. What do you mean outside the game? Exile that card and any card with the same name in each player's hand graveyard. So I can I can choose, I don't know, Basic Forest. Does it say non-land card? Choose a card you don't own. Exile that card and any card with the same name. You can hit basic lands. What the hell is going on here? Yeah, a little bit too much of a meme card. Too much memeing around. Does it hit anything on the this thing? Not 15 mana. Okay, that is so specific. We are hitting cards from outside the game. That is very, or I guess that's not specific. It is unusual. It's going off the casting cost. No, okay, that's good. Back to the freebie section. People with your meme cards. Arcanic Momentum. Now, it's a 4-mana enchantment. Spells you cast cost 2 more to cast. That sounds terrible. Why would we want to do this? But spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each other spell you've cast this turn. Why are we handicapping ourselves here? I mean, yeah, we could probably print this card. So it's like, okay, your first ritual will probably be like 4 mana to get 3 mana. I don't like, this is weird. You think it dangerous? I think this card's terrible. Like, I don't think a Storm card would ever want to play this card. Your first few spells are going to be really expensive. Like, the start is terrible. The finish might be great, but like, if you can cast like 6-7 spells in one turn, you don't need this. Like, what's the point? Yeah, probably printable. I think it's this with Affinity. I don't think it would matter. Even with Affinity, your first card would be 2 mana, the second would be 1. You already need to dump your hand on the battlefield to make Affinity even do something. I think this is printable. Easy print. Super print, if you ask me. Skylar, thanks so much for your super chat. The Prism Containment. Gonna send some more soon. Sounds great. Prism Containment. All right, we got the Prism. It's a 2-mana legendary artifact. It taps for a mana. All right, so we got a mana rock. It also has Threshold. Threshold, that's 7 mana. Tap, add 1 mana of any color as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard. This is a banger card. I think it's very flavorful. Yeah, very Pink Floyd reference we got in the art over here. I have nothing bad to say about this card. I'm surprised Wizards hasn't made a card like this already. I don't even think it needs to be legendary unless you want it to have some special properties or whatever. The Pink Floyd card should also be a wall creature. I don't know the lore enough for that. Does that hit the bingo in some way? Recycled old mechanic. Can we say that? Oh yeah, recycled old mechanic. Threshold. Someone's actually, instead of making new ones, people are regurgitating old ones in better ways. We're making Threshold. We're bringing it back, baby. We're bringing it back. And probably Threshold is probably a really underutilized mechanic. I think Delirium is stupid. Delirium is like way too easy to pull off. Threshold was a good one. All right, Threshold was like you had to work to get 7 cards in your graveyard. Now Delirium, it's just too easy to get 4 card types in that graveyard. The album was called The Wall. Oh, okay, gotcha. Back to the freebie section. We got the Heretical Lotus, a 0-mana artifact. Tap, sacrifice Heretical Lotus. Add 3 mana of any one color. But spend this mana, only cast your Oathbreaker. Sounds like this is just Jeweled Lotus all over again. This seems like a real card, maybe because such a card already existed. Why don't we just print broken cards in another format? We just give it another name. We're just repurposing Jeweled Lotus. It's like, all right, Jeweled Lotus, you're banned. But you know what? I'll tell you what we can do. We can put you into witness protection. We can give you a new name. Then we can release you back into the wild under a completely new identity. Oh, the last one is a real card? Oh, yeah, the last one's definitely a real card. We'll be banned. We'll be banned in 3 years when it achieves the price tag of $100 to $200. Does this hit anything on the bingo card? Well, first off, I want to say it's doable. Like, Jeweled Lotus was doable. It was a broken card, but it's strong. Objectively, obviously, it's very, very powerful. It's very powerful in the even more niche format than we were in the first place. Well, actually, I have to say, in Brawl is 1-on-1, right? No, Oathbreaker. No, Oathbreaker is a multiplayer. This is not Brawl. Okay, so that's fine. Do we hit anything more than a 10/10, 5 words in card type, creature only, 4+ single mana, snow card, Yu-Gi-Oh, learn grammar, haste, menace, Wooburg card, anime card? Nope, I don't think we hit anything. Sounds good. Or maybe this could be the super specific card. Spend this mana only to cast your Oathbreaker. Okay. Do you know what? That is so specific. That one is specific. That's insanely specific. Only for Oathbreaker. No other formats allowed. Some Mermaid Sire says, I'm cooking a custom card called Season of Spoilers. Can't wait to share it with the coffee crew one day. One day. Okay, next up. What do we got here? We got Gabrielle. Thanks so much for your super chat, by the way, Gabrielle. Forgot today was the day. Yeah, every Wednesday is the day. My card is Raphael. Is it a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? No, it's a Shepherd of Sheol. An anti-discard mill counterspell. All right, let's take a look at it. It is a 5 mana 4/4 angel with flying. Whenever a creature card with mana value 3 or less is put into a graveyard from anywhere except the battlefield by a spell or ability an opponent controls, return that creature card to the battlefield under your control. What? What? Did I read this properly? Whenever a creature card with mana value 3 or less is put into your graveyard, your graveyard from anywhere except the battlefield by a spell or ability an opponent controls. Okay. It is your deck. Based on this is super anti-mill. Okay, maybe this is totally fine. I thought you could abuse this yourself, but you can't. You specifically worded it. Yeah, anti-mill. Don't be milling my stuff. If you mill my stuff, well, you have another thing coming because I'm gonna put an army on the battlefield. Surprised you actually balanced it out with the mana value 3 over there. Return that creature card from the battlefield to the battlefield under your control. Actually, I do think this is a great card. It's a great idea. Do people have problem with mill? Like, I don't get that part. Like, I'm not afraid of mill. Is mill even a big deal in specifically Commander? Like, in my mind, the only way mill is going to work is if they have a mill combo. Which, in that case, I don't even think this type of card would even save you. In my opinion. when playing your commander game is going to really be mad about this card, and it'll do nothing to anyone else. I am impressed people are even bold to bring Mill to the table. You know what I mean? I don't think we hit anything here. Don't think we have a lot. We have a lot of really niche stuff in this entire on this bingo card. I have a feeling we're not going to hit a whole lot of stuff, but we're going to try. Okay, moving on to the freebie section. Oh, did I click the Heretic Lotus? Make into Mist. It's a blue 1 generic instant. Counter target spell. And then if a permanent spell is countered this way, you may etherize it. To etherize, create a token that's a copy of it, then exile that token. Oh, just so that we get the ETB effect? That is so weird. So you people who love your ETBs, well, I guess you got it over here with Make into Mists. It's basically you counterspell something and then you get a little bit of value when it enters the battlefield. If it's a creature or artifact or something. I mean, create a token, then I wonder, does it just die instantly? Or do I get to tap it in response to its ETB? Probably not. Probably not. There's no opportunity to tap. I'm thinking, yeah, we can allow it. Strictly better counts. Sorry, strictly better cancel, but cancel is terrible. It's just so bad in this game. The Cosmos give, the Cosmos takes. What is left is pure void. Oh, we got Islarf. Here's some cool cards. A couple of Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. Can you guess which? Oh, Happy Wednesday is what we're looking at. Oh, okay. We're gonna take a look at it take a look at that in the second half. Okay, Banovsky, we'll get to you first. You have Ignition Angel, another Paladin card. You love them Paladins. Three mana for a 1/1 Angel with flying. When Ignition Angel enters, it deals damage equal to its power to each non-angel creature, and it's got Undying. Interesting. ETB, just basically poke everyone for 1. I don't see anything wrong with this card. It looks good to me. Paladins as the game? Actually, it's not even a paladin. I don't know what a paladin is. I thought paladin might be a creature type. I guess not in this case. I think it looks... There's so many cards that are like, when this creature enters the battlefield, like, deal 1 damage to everything, or, like, shrink everything by 1. I can't see how this card is any different from all the other ones, so it looks totally fine. Oh, the game is called Paladins? Ah, I see. I can tell how many of you love making cards based on some sort of other TCG, a movie, other games in general. Animes. Okay, back to the freebie section. Ugh, 2 cards. 2 cards in 1, huh? Okay, this is The Cruel Pharaoh by Simon. The Cruel Pharaoh is a black-white, 1 generic 2/2 human noble. Now, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature. That sounds very disturbing. And it has Disturb. For 7 mana, you can cast this card from your graveyard, transformed under its other transformed into this, the Pharaoh's Curse. It's an aura curse. Enchant player. At the beginning of enchant player's upkeep, put a sand counter on up to 1 target permanent that player controls. It becomes a 1/1 white sand creature token, sand creature, and loses all abilities. Did it have any in the first place? If Pharaoh's Curse would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, put a sand counter on up to 1 target permanent that player controls. Oh, I see. So they have to put sand on their creatures and then they turn them to nothing. Oh, very interesting. It's a curse. Curses. We got the Damn Draws. Thank you so much for your super chat, the Damn. Merchandising. That's where the money is. If it's not going to come from Spaceballs 2, it's going to come from merchandising. Okay, we have a blue-white enchantment with, what was this guy's name? It wasn't Yogurt. To eat during each upkeep, create a treasure token for each legendary permanent you control. Also, cumulative upkeep 1. What? During your upkeep, create a treasure token for each legendary permanent you control. This actually looks, it honestly looks broken. Because, like, your legendary, if you build your deck around legendary permanents like Planeswalkers, I mean, this is just going to pay for itself, right? Hit you, cumulative upkeep. I think it's fine. Oh, sorry, I think it's potentially broken. If you start, let's say you start the game with, like, you get like 4 legendary permanents on the battlefield and then you play merchandising. That's a lot of mana. Although you don't get to use it immediately. It costs money to maintain a business. But it sounds like you exponentially have to pay money for that business. That's overpowered as hell. See Alistair, the brigadier? Brigadier? I'm not entirely sure, actually, if this is broken. You have to, like, play out your hand quite a bit to get enough legendary permanents on the battlefield. But at that point, maybe you don't even need the mana. Maybe this is okay. I thought about it for a second. I think it's okay. All right. Does it hit anything on the card here? Nothing. Too much X. Another haste menace. Wooburg card. We haven't had a single Wooburg card yet. What's going on with the casting cost? No card. Nope. Nope. We got nothing. Nothing's going on over here. Previous action. Aim for the kill. Gotta go for the throat here. Okay, 2 mana instant with Focus Fire. As long as this spell is on the stack, each other spell you cast costs 2 less to cast if it targets the same target as this spell. That is actually super creative. Aim for the kill deals 2 damage to any target. So this is already 2 mana, but then everything else that you target the creature with is going to cost 1 less. I think that is a perfectly great card. To be honest, I think the card sucks because you're going to have to, like, spew out more, like, burn spells or spells targeting that permanent. Sounds like you're going to spend like 3 or 4 cards to kill something, which is not going to be a good deal. But anyway, it's definitely doable. We're doing bingo for Ginka. It's really hard bingo, though. Very, very hard bingo. You know, you have too many squares on here that sounds like they're for Dimitri. Yu-Gi-Oh card, too much X, 15 plus mana. These are all Dimitri characteristics, not like regular gaming characteristics. Focus Fire does seem like a workable keyword. Absolutely. But how else would you use it? It might be more broken if it was for targeting your own stuff. Like, okay, I like Giant Growth, my creature. And now, like, future cards that I play, like maybe auras or something, actually get cheaper, and so on. Okay, next up, we got Rob. Into the Slothopolis. Thanks so much for your super chat, Rob. Into the Slothopolis. Okay, it's the Canopies of Slothopolis. It's a sloth! It be slothing around here. It's a legendary land. Tapped out a green for each non-moth sloth in play. What the hell does that mean? Each non-moth sloth? Why would a sloth also be a moth? I don't think they're in the same family. I don't think they have anything to do with each other, in my opinion. Okay, then we also, and then non-moth sloths get +1/+1. Pay a green. Tap, create a colorless 1/1 sloth moth token with reach. Then Slumber for 6 green. Each player chooses a permanent they control. Each permanent not chosen this way becomes suspended with 3 time counters on it. Slumber. Each player chooses a permanent they control. Each permanent not chosen this way becomes... That is absolutely insane. Anti-changeling? Yeah, excluding changelings too. Basically, don't you wipe the board, becomes suspended with 3 time? You literally wipe the board with this last ability. That's like way too strong to have on a land, even a legendary land. Each permanent, yeah, each player chooses a permanent. Each permanent not chosen this way. Yeah, you get like everyone chooses one thing. Yeah, on a land. Okay, that's too strong. I don't fully understand what the first half is doing. I certainly understand what the second half is doing. That's absolutely insane. The land becomes suspended too. Well, if you do, each player, so each player chooses a permanent they control. So you can choose to keep this thing. It doesn't get sacrificed, just going into slumber. Can a non-moth be a goth? I don't know, but I don't know if a non-moth can even be a sloth. I don't know how many sloths there are that are moths. It's got to be a non-moth sloth around here. I guess they're not. Moths are just insects, I think. Yeah. Exactly. Did we hit anything? 5+ words in the name. 1. No, we got 4. This one hits 4. Is this snow card? No. 5+ words in card type? No. New creature type? 3 out. Another haste. Wooburg. Anime. Too much X. Legend doesn't apply. What's going on with the casting cost? No, we got nothing. Freebie section. Okay, we got the dock-sized. That's it. This dock-sized extortionist. It's like a colossal dreadmaw. Okay, 6 mana, 6/6. Goblin Dinosaur Pirate with trample. When dock-sized extortionist enters, create X treasure tokens, where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments your opponents control. Isn't this the same thing? Create X treasure, X is the number of artifacts and enchantments. Okay, so it's the same thing. It's just like the proper mana cost. Frankly, at that mana, it's probably like legal and fair. It's probably just a completely fine card. They literally should have done this. Does the X hit here? Too much X? X to where X is not. I don't think it hit enough X. So Mermaid Star loves it. We're gonna ship the dock-sized extortionist around here. The dock-sized. Okay, the next up we've got Skylar with a wondrous protection. Let's take a look at that protection. Wondrous. Uh-oh. We call it wondrous. Wondrous protection. That's fine. Okay, wondrous protection, a green instant split second. As long as the spell is on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Target creature gets hexproof until end of turn. If a spell you control would give target creature +X/+X, it gets +X/+1 +X/+1 instead. All right, that's enough X's in here. Too much X. There's a lot of X on this card. X marks the spot. Whoops. So it's just an instant speed pump spell. Target creature gets hexproof until... It reminds me of, what is it called? Legolas's reflexes or something. If a spell you control would give target creature +X/+X, it gets +X/+1. +X/+1 instead. So basically, every single time we target a card, we're actually increasing the power even larger than it was before. So it'd grow big time. Split second is such a scam! Many cards do things when mana abilities trigger, making it useless. I think it's I wouldn't say it's completely fair, but it's totally fine. To be honest, pump spells are so bad in Magic the Gathering. Like, what is the only use for pump spells in the game now? Like, just for infect creatures, maybe. So I think Wondrous Protection, actually attempting to make pump spells like pretty relevant again, it's actually worth it. Great idea. All right, next up, we got Stock Market. It's a green-red enchantment. Any player may activate abilities on this card. For a green, add an up counter to the Stock Market. If there are more up counters than down, each player creates a treasure token. I don't think that's how the Stock Market works. So red, add a down counter to the Stock Market. If there are more down counters than up, each player sacrifices a treasure. If they can't, they sacrifice a creature instead. I don't know what this has anything to do with the stock market. So basically, while the stock market is up, we all have treasures. When the stock market is down, we lose our treasures. Is there even any reason to hold on to our treasures? At an up counter. It's almost like almost feels like Reddit again. I think it's fine though. It's a bit weird, but I think it's fine. Heroic and the best aggro decks in both standard are pump spell decks. Well, you can get away with more stuff in standard than you can otherwise. But yeah, there's also a Pioneer heroic deck as well, which makes a... But here's the thing, the heroic decks, you're not... It's like prowess. Like, you're not trying to necessarily win with pump spells. You're trying to win by just casting cards that target your creature and draw more cards so you can keep pumping it up. Mimicking a bear and bull market. They should have pictures of bears and bulls on here. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at... we got Tabashell. Thanks so much for your super chat. Gore something. Gore Burad. Gore Burad is a legendary land. Hold! I think that's I think that's a new card type or something. New... that's not a creature type. Type creature only. Okay, whatever. I thought it'd be something new. Okay, we got now it's tap, add a colorless. We also have tap, level up. So we just have to tap it to level it up. Level 1 to 2, add red mana. We have to work for our red mana around here. And then level 3 plus, add red. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. That's creative. I can get behind this thing completely. Basically, you have to burn 1 turn, and you have to do it at sorcery speed too. So this is technically just a waste. Comes into play as a waste, and then you can tap it immediately. Or I mean, you could look at it as a land that comes into play tapped, and then but you still have to tap it every single turn, to be honest. Yeah, so it comes into play tapped effectively, and then next turn, if you want to add red, it's going to stay on level 1. So it takes a while to level it up all the way to 3. This is 100% fair. Not broken at all. Very doable. Very fun design space. Lily loves it. Loves the Gore Barad. The lesser known stuff from Lord of the Rings, perhaps, I suppose. I don't know what the Gore Barad is, or if it's anything at all. All right, with that, we're going to take a look at more custom cards, but we got to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic the Gathering cards. Deal of the week this week, 15% off Lorwyn and Morningtide singles. I love Lorwyn and Morningtide. Plenty of merfolk out there. And also, don't forget, Duskmourn House of Horrors is out. You can pre-order, sorry, not pre-order. You can just buy the singles. They're hot and ready for your buying needs for your Commander, Pioneer, Standard, Modern decks. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. If you want to, are you strapped for time? You want to play anytime you want? You can play on Magic Online. You can play Commander. You can play Modern. You can play Pioneer. You can play Dual Commander. And you have access to the entire card pool possible when you're renting cards with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below. Or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_QTP. And back to Reddit cards. All right, one more freebie for the freebie section. And then we go, it's the long road. Wonderful road. It's a great ride of the super chats. Okay, it's the summer. I don't think the snowman likes the summer, if you ask me. Not a fan of summer. Okay, for 6 mana, we've got a sorcery. Destroy all snow permanents. Now, for each land destroyed this way, its controller may search for a land that shares a card type with it and put it onto the battlefield. More reason to have non-snow cards into your deck. Okay, is this... oh, does it mention... It mentions snow. It mentions snow. Where is this? Snow card. It's not technically a snow card, though. Doesn't even say snow on there. All right, it's mentioned snow, but not actually snow card. Okay, next up. Super chats. Millions and millions of super chats. We got Winter Fox here. Huge super chat. Split these into 2. There's 5 for each. You got it. Dream Mirror Series Continued 1. Continued. Let's take a look at this. The first is more snow colorless legendary mirror lands. All right. And the second one is creatures. Well, okay, now we can hit the snow card. Because the first card is... It's not even a snow card. Is there any snow cards here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Okay, hold on. There are no snow cards here. Backspace. Enchanted Dream Mirror Marsh. It's a legendary mirror land. It's got Shroud. Reflective land. This land comes into play tapped, and with 3 reflection counters on it. Non-land, non-dream mirror permanents with a reflection counter on it cannot be sacrificed and cannot be returned to hand. They cannot be they can't move, right? It's basically how it is. Non-land dream mirror permanents with a reflection counter. It cannot be sacrificed and cannot be returned to hand. No bouncing, no sacking. Tap. You may move up to 3 counters of any type from any permanent to another permanent of your choice. That is actually insane. They'll really screw with the proliferate player at the table. Okay, next up we got the Astral Moonsoul Lake with Shroud and Ward 3. It's also a reflective land. Tap. You may gain 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 life. I could choose any one of these? It's so weird. Then move 1 reflection counter from any permanent to another permanent of your choice. Why would I not want 5? What? Because if I have Lich out or something like that, that's just weird. Okay, we have the Aura Spring Crystal Cavern with Shroud. It's a legendary mirror land. It's also a reflective land. Tap, untap target dream mirror creature you control. Then move 1 reflection counter on a permanent to another permanent of your choice. Them reflection counters, they be moving. You ain't gonna be sacrificing my creatures. What's the flavor behind that? Like the reflection counter doesn't let you sack. Like, does it bounce back at them or something? Okay, we got the Legendary Castle of the North Battlement. It is a legendary mirror land with Shroud. If your current life is greater than 13, tap, lose 2 life, then draw 1 card. I have a feeling we're trying to get to like some certain life total around here. Then if your life total is less than 13 but greater than 6, tap, lose 1 life, then target creature you control gets +1/+2. I love how you have these like really convoluted loops to achieve something, and then like some of these things aren't even that like particularly powerful. Well, I mean, I guess this is like, what's it called? Maybe I'm underestimating this. I mean, I have Shroud, but also it's like Pendelhaven. If your life total is 6 or less, tap, gain 1 life, and creatures you control get +1/+2/+1 and flying until end of turn. I actually now think, hold on, if you, this doesn't add any mana. If your life total is greater than 13, tap, lose 2 life, and draw 1 card. Okay, I think it's broken. I mean, that first ability is so damn strong. The second one probably wouldn't be used. The only downside to this is that it is technically, like, it takes up your land drop, and that's about it. You could also just say cannot be targeted without using keywords, and it should be fine. Well, for Ginka says, Nikachu, trust me, once we get to the super chat only territory, we'll fill up. I think it's more interesting when it's like based on the cards. I think this is too strong. I think control decks, I mean, especially in Commander, like, what's 2 life? It's like nothing. So it does eat up your land drop, but it's basically like play permanent. You can't play a land this turn. Tap, draw a card. Effectively. It's not perfect. You do have to pay some life. You're gonna have to pay the life man. They're gonna pay, you know. Sorry, this is the wrong one. You're gonna pay life for drawing cards, but I think it's worth it. And you can, like, you know, stop whenever you want to. Anyhow, this plus Yavimaya, Gaia Cradle of Growth, that does anything. Should add mana cost to the first one. Maybe you just get rid of it. I guess if you do add a mana cost, it would be more fair. It'd be a lot more fair, especially since this costs nothing to get in play. The other 2 abilities, I think, are pretty balanced. Well, I think this third one is very strong. But at least if you're at 6 or less life, you deserve to be gaining life at that point. The Mooncrest Starfield Lake. It's also a legendary mirror land with Shroud. If your current life is greater or equal to 13, tap, lose 2 life, then add double snow, colorless snow, and double colorless. Okay, we got there. We got the snow card. At least 1 snow card. It adds snow around here. So, if your current life total is less than 13 but greater than 6, tap, lose 1 life, then add snow or colorless. Target creature you control gets +0/+2 until end of turn. And then if your current life total is 6 or less, tap, gain 1 life, then you have protection from non-colorless spells until end of your turn. Okay, how does this first one work? It's like if your life total is greater or equal to 13, tap, lose 2 life, then add this. Okay, this card's also insane. It's just basically a soul land again. It's a soul land. But I mean, it's Ancient Tomb, right? It is strictly, I think it's strictly better Ancient Tomb. This one goes from mana add to defensive focus. Yeah, but like if you have a lot of life total, then I mean it's just another. It's a soul land that has Shroud, effectively, with extra abilities. Current life total, you can gain life off this Ancient Tomb. This Ancient Tomb actually gives back in sub capacity. Why even add snow if it's not a snow permanent? I don't know. You gotta ask Winter Fox that. All right, next, let's take a look at Islarf. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. There's some cool cards, a couple Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. Can you guess which? I'll find out in a second. Okay, I gotta look up Happy Wednesday. Happy. Let's get to the whole series here. We're reusing old art. Logically circular. Oh, you're a funny person, huh? You're being funny. Okay, it's for a Phyrexian mana, Phyrexian blue, sorcery. Counter target spell. That is broken. Madness of 0. It got even worse. I didn't even know you could make this more broken after looking at it for 1 second. Okay, one of these is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Amnesia. Sorcery, kicker of a black. Target player reveals their hand. You choose an online card from it. That player puts it on the bottom of their library. If the spell is kicked. Otherwise, they put it on top of their library. So you choose an online card that player puts on the bottom of their library. That's interesting. You choose an online card that player puts it on the bottom. For 1 blue, this is a big. This is a big color pie break. That player puts it on the bottom of their library. Oh no, yeah, if it was kicked. Otherwise, they put it on the top of their library. Oh, maybe this is actually fair. Interesting. Interesting. Why do you kick it? I don't know. Now I think about it, all it is like 1 blue, make your opponent like lose a card for the turn. Because basically you're taking any random card and they're definitely drawing it. Unless you can like manipulate the top of their library or force them to shuffle. It's actually very interesting. I'd approve of this card. I'd like to see that card printed. Ectoplasmer, the black 4 generic enchantment. Well, this got a Yu-Gi-Oh art. So I might say this is the Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's an enchantment. At the beginning of each player's end step, that player sacrifices a creature and chooses an opponent. Ectoplasmer deals X damage to the chosen player, where X is half the power of the sacrificed creature. I'd imagine that could be the Yu-Gi-Oh card. Oh, but there's an even more Yu-Gi-Oh card coming up later. Vashta Nerada, the 3 mana 8/8 shade. What the hell is this? Maybe they're all Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Are they all Yu-Gi-Oh cards? I didn't read that super chat correctly. Vashta gets -X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Pay 4. It gets Shadow until end of turn. There is no way. That's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's like the new Tarmogoyf. I think it's insane. Okay, the Dark Armed Dragon. A 6/5 for 6 mana. Dark Armed Dragon can only be cast while having exactly 3 black creature cards in your graveyard. You pay no mana costs if you cast it from your hand. What? What the hell does that mean? You pay nothing? There's the Yu-Gi-Oh. The J is like, that's it. That one. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Unbelievable. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Exile target creature. Can only be cast while having exactly 3 black. So you need 3 black creature cards in the graveyard. Then you can play this for free. Kevin says, this is definitely a Yu-Gi-Oh card. All right. Yu-Gi-Oh. Where's the Yu-Gi-Oh card? Yu-Gi-Oh card. We got it. We got our Yu-Gi-Oh card. We found our Yu-Gi-Oh one. Yeah, like, here's the problem. I think this card would be reasonably strong. I don't. It might be more jank than I think. Like, because you need. It reminds me. Do you know what? Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe this is Scab Ruinator. There's a creature that's like 3 mana. It's a 5. There's a 3 mana 5/6 flyer called Scab Ruinator. But you have to an additional cost to cast it. You have to sacrifice 3 creatures from your, or you have to exile 3 creatures from your graveyard. This is basically the same thing. It's very similar. And Scab Ruinator sucks because it's so hard to get them 3 creatures in your graveyard. This is broken in half, in your humble opinion. I'm gonna say it passes. And this ability is useless unless you can get it on the battlefield. Exile a creature card from your graveyard, exile target creature. Oh, that second side is insane. We just exile. Oh my god. So if we get it on the battlefield, yeah, screw the casting cost part. Hold on, can only be cast while having exactly. No, you still need the 3 cards in your graveyard. It's complicated. It's once it gets on the battlefield, it's probably going to run away with the game, though. This was the first tier 0 deck staple in Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh yeah, okay. We have some duelists in chat. Some duelists. Okay, let's be safe. The first tier 0 must get disqualified. We just got to disqualify it. Okay, next up, let's get one from Madra. Madra, part 9 of the Septa Sagara. Thank you very much for your super chat, Madra. I do believe you're on the bingo card, Majra. Majra series free, basically. Ooh, we are 2 away from a bingo. We are very close to a bingo. Okay, first one. Sargass Exterminator. It's a 3 mana 2/2 Siren Scout with landfall. Whenever a land enters under your control, create a 0/1 green algae creature token. If you control 7 or more algae, create a 2/2 green and blue beast creature token with Island Walk instead. Do we hit, like... That's a new creature type, right? New creature type! Algae! I've never heard of it. Is that one new? I'm assuming it's new. I would never guess that algae is a creature type. Okay, you make your creatures. Give yourself some algae around here. 0/1. If you control 7 or more algae, create a 2/2. Basically, we get enough lands in play. Them algae turn into merfolk. Last time I looked at Yu-Gi-Oh, they were making dragon-made waifus. Oh yeah, I'm sure they still are. They love the waifus in Yu-Gi-Oh. They know their market. I don't know. Well, and they're sort of bringing the waifus with to Magic the Gathering with the secret lair stuff. They won't put in the real set, but you know what? If you want a waifu version of cards you love, they can do that for you. Sea Spray Flare. This is a 2 mana 2/2 Siren Warlock with Wither. Whenever you turn a snare face up or cast a trap, remember snares are like morph, I believe enchantments and artifacts. I think it's artifacts. Whenever you turn a snare face up or cast a trap, you trap me. Put X -1/-1 counters on target creature where X is equal to the power of Sea Spray Flare. That's 100% fine. It's quite the payoff you got over there. The Shielding Waves, a 3 mana. Here we go. Here's a snare. So flash snare for a blue. You can turn it face down for 2 mana and turn it face up for its snare cost. When Shielding Waves enters or is turned face up, put a shield counter on target creature and then it gains hexproof. Until end of turn, then sacrifice the Shielding Waves. End of turn face up, put a shield counter, and gains hexproof. 100% fine. 1,000,000%. We got the Snare Master. For 2 mana, we got a 1/1 with Death Touch. It's a Siren Scout. Whenever you turn a snare face up or cast a trap, you get to draw a card. This actually is great. Okay, this one's actually a really good payoff to any of this snare or trap mechanic. And you're bringing back the traps. Why are sirens green, by the way? Green doesn't seem like a watery color. We'll tell that to the Ixalan merfolk. What do plants need to survive? They need water. That's what they need. Okay, the last card. The Soul Expulsion Star. It's a black 3 generic snare. It's got flash. You can snare it for a black. When Soul Expulsion Flare, sorry, so when Soul Expulsing Star enters or is turned face up, destroy target creature or planeswalker, then sacrifice the Soul Expulsing Star. Pass. Sirens aren't merfolk lore-wise. That's true, but they're close. They're like the evil cousins. All right, they're evil. They look the same. Someone pissed in the bloodline or the gene pool like millions of years ago, and then now we have sirens. It's basically how it is. Okay, next we'll look at Morbid Panda. Thanks so much for your super chat. We got the Raven Loft Part 1. Ooh, another series card. Look what you've done, Majra. Look what you've done. Everyone's making series cards. You can have series around here? Absolutely. For a price. Okay, first card is a red-green 1/1 human werewolf. At the beginning of your upkeep, place a celebrity counter on Harkon Dark Lord Kartka Cass. That was a mouthful. They're a celebrity. Can I get your autograph? Other creatures you control get +1/+1 for each celebrity counter onto Harkon. When Harkon dies, place X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of celebrity counters on Harkon. Also, for 6 mana, place a celebrity counter on Harkon Dark Lord Kartakas. So they just get +1/+1 for each celebrity counter. So the more counters we put when it dies, place X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. That's interesting. You get a celebrity counter in tons of ways. What, at upkeep? So it's basically a lord immediately. Then it's like a super lord. And then when it dies, you can put the counters on something else. I'm assuming this is okay. It's basically just a vanilla creature, to be honest, which is not that strong. So we're really trying to push the like lord aspect of this game. Putting that in a proliferate deck would be broken. Break away! Yeah, maybe I'm underestimating the power of the proliferate. Okay, Akriel, Daughter of the Dark Lord. It's a 3 mana 3/4 human. At the beginning of your upkeep, place 2 more celebrities. Celebrity counters on Akriel. Creatures you control get +1/+1 for each different type of counter on them. What? You like counters matter cards. Remove 4 celebrity counters from among creatures you control. Target creature of your choice gains your choice to trample, first strike, haste, or shield counter. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, you actually balanced that perfectly at the end. I was like, well, if you have all these counters on these, it's going to be like really hard to kill something. But you say you only have to do it as a sorcery. I like that. So that's incredibly balanced out. Casimir, the Kartakan Wanderer, the 3 mana 6/8. That sounds insanely suspicious. Okay, enters with 5 celebrity counters on it. Gets -1/-1 for each celebrity counter on it. Okay, so actually this thing it gets 5, so it's like it starts off as like a 1/2. If it would leave the battlefield and it had at least 1 celebrity counter on it, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of its next end step. 3 mana, remove a celebrity counter from Casimir. Deals 2 damage to target creature. I don't... What if you just remove all the counters from this thing? What if you have a card that says... Well, I mean, it's just a 6/8 otherwise, I guess. It never dies. Well, you can exile. You can always exile the damn thing, right? Oh, yeah, if it would leave the battlefield and had at least 1 celebrity counter on it, returns to the... Okay, if it can't die, then I think this one gets disqualified. If it would be put into the graveyard or something. It's like strictly invincible. Okay, so I'm going to say that one may be a little pushed. Okay, we got the Follower of the Akriel. This is a 4 mana 3/4 halfling archer. It's a hobbit. with reach. When follower of Akrel enters, put a celebrity counter on target creature you control, and then creatures control with a celebrity counter on it get +2/+0. This is like completely a Lord Matters decks. Like all the cards are just there to buff all the other cards for the most part. It's card to cast. This is the land. It enters tapped. You can tap to add a red or a green. Also, you can pay 3 mana tap to put a celebrity counter on target creature that attacked this turn. Why are they celebrities? Or is there like a definition for celebrity I am not familiar with? Like, why are all these? It's like when I hear the word celebrity, you're all famous. They're all, this person's famous, this person's famous. We're all famous around here. But they also appear to be in the middle of nowhere. They are in the middle of nowhere. They are famous amongst themselves, I suppose. Anyway, great set for the most part. This one just slight design mistake, but the rest of it is good. Okay, next up, we're gonna take a look at let's take some $5 super chats, starting with Benovsky. We got Ray and Tyra. More Paladin cards. Good morning, Coffee Crew. Oh, we got a blue-white 1/3 Lee Pori legendary creature. If Ree is paired, unpair it. Pair Reed with another unpaired creature. They remain paired while both are on the battlefield. Okay. Whenever Ree or another creature you control that is paired with Ree would be dealt damage to prevent all but one of that damage. So it can what? This only will perpetually take 1 damage for forever. As long as Ree is paired with a creature an opponent controls, damage isn't removed from that creature during the cleanup steps. Pair Reed with another unpaired creature. Oh, I can pair stuff with my opponent? But hold on, I don't understand this card. So I understand, or maybe what does pairing mean, actually? At first I thought, oh, pairing, that's soulbound, right? But now I'm not so sure. I don't know what, okay, is there an explanation here? Good morning, crew. Ready for today's show? I think they're showing these 2 girls from the Paladins. I'm happy with Tyra, but unsure of Ray because Soul Bond was a 9 out of 10 on the Storm scale. What do you guys care about the Storm scale? You're trying to get cards printed into... Like, the Storm scale only counts for standard cards. Cards going into standard. I think it's supposed to be Soul Bond. But you can Soul Bond with your opponent's creatures, according to this. You can pair Ray with another untapped creature. What, like, also your opponent's stuff? I thought Soul Bond was a pretty cool mechanic, too. Nothing wrong with that. Pairing just means paired. It has no other meaning. Well, it has a meaning here. Okay, so I really don't know what this card does. And also, it would appear, based on its wording, that you can pair it with, like, your opponent's creatures. So the next one, Tyra the Untamed, a 4-mana 4/3. Menace, Trample, Haste. Pair red, tap. Put a mark counter on target creature without a mark counter. Activate only as a sorcery. Pay a green, tap. Target creature you control fights target creature with a mark counter. That sounds like such an underwhelming card. Oh, it's got Menace, Trample, and Haste, though. That's the benefit to this thing. All right. I mean, either way, I think this is completely doable. I'm surprised it just doesn't fight off the bat. I do not know if the mark counter is even necessary. Just get in that red zone, start fighting things. Welcome, Cameron. Nice to see you. Pair is a real mechanic, I think. I'm not that familiar with. I'm not familiar with it at all. Cross another haste plus menace on the card. Oh, we got menace and haste. That's right. Okay, we got another haste and menace. Oh, great eye for Genka, especially for the person who made the bingo card. Did we hit anything else? We have an anime card too. Anime. We're getting the waifu cards around here. Legend doesn't apply. Type creature only. That's gonna be hard to get off. 5+ words in card type, more than 3. Okay. We haven't hit a Wooburg card yet. No Wooburg. Okay, let's take a look at another $5. The damn draws. Thanks so much, the damn draws. You've got Luxuria and Castitas. Green, 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 red, 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 and 1 for Luxuria. It's a 4/4 Demon Avatar. Looks great, though. Trample and Haste, 4/4. ETB, creatures target player controls with power less than Luxuria get an Enrample counter. Take control of Enrample creatures. Remove an Enrample counter during each of your end phases. Okay. We stealing! We swiping that thing! It's gonna be ours now. Creatures in your hand have Bloodthirst 1. If an opponent was dealt damage this turn, this creature enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Then for red and green and double X, put an Enraptor counter on X target. Put an Enraptor counter on X target creatures. That is insane! That's absolutely insane. It is double X. So you're just constantly stealing things. For the low cost of basically, what, 4, 6 mana? Oh, God. And this thing is like 7 mana. Because everyone wants to attack instantly and don't want to be chump blocked. Yeah, everyone loves haste. Haste probably one of the most favorite keywords out there. How good would a vanilla first strike death touch haste menace be? Well, I would say it's not very vanilla at that point. That's for sure. Should take control only as long as she is alive. Would that help? I don't want my stuff taken at all. Like while she's on the battlefield. So you're just saying that there'll be a target. Okay, I can get behind that. We got to change this card to you steal the thing. You steal creatures for as long as Luxuria is on the battlefield, or something to that effect. If Luxuria it leaves the battlefield, remove all counters with a what's it called Enraptor counter on them, and then the cards go back to your opponent's possession. Although that would make the card even more wordy. Castitas. It's a blue, blue, white, white, green, green, 1 generic, 4/4 angel avatar. It's got flying. It's got a miracle, though, too. It's a miracle. When Castitas enters, remove any number of aura counters and equipment from you or creatures you control, then distribute that many +1/+1 counters among creatures you control. That sounds terrible. You want to lose your equipment and auras and exchange them for +1/+1 counters? Radiance. Opponents can't put counters on or attach auras and equipment to Castitas or creatures that share a color with her. I don't get this card. This sounds all downside, no upside. Opponents can't put counters on or attach auras or equipment. They can't put equipment on the thing anyway. Does that make sense? I don't think you can put a single equipment on a creature. She's supposed to counter the first one to prevent the counters that take control. Broken, it removes poison counters. Well, that's a good thing. Probably. With any number of auras, counters. Yeah. So you can actually cure yourself from infect. That's one benefit. Oh, the Radiance thing is just weird, in my opinion. Okay. So, but I will approve of this. I do approve of this card. Very, very interesting card. Yeah, I think it's pretty fair, especially for its casting cost. Super fair. Next super chat. We got one from 4 Paths of Life. Thanks so much for your super chat. And it is, did someone say Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Somebody might have said that. Here's literally Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So many of you have you all have a thing. Okay, Mirror Force. Oh, I've heard of this card. Okay, this is a red 1 generic trap. Cast Mirror Force only when target opponent declares 1 or more attackers against you or a permanent you control. Destroy all attacking and or untapped creatures that opponent controls. What? Only when target opponent declares an attack, destroy all attacking and or untapped creatures. You declare an attack, I just blow up your board? That's absolute. Is that broken? It's instant speed board wipe. Yeah, that's broken. One or more it declares one or more attackers against you. Yeah, like you just declare an attack and then just wipe the board. That's insane for 3 mana. At instant speed board wipe. Too broken. But it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card, so we understand. Called by the Grave. This is a 3 mana. I have to say, Yu-Gi-Oh cards have this like very unique aesthetic as well. It's an instant exile target creature card in an opponent's graveyard. If you do, until the end of your next turn, counter all activated abilities of cards with the same name as the exiled card. Also, permanents with that same name lose and can't gain all abilities. That's a wicked card. I think this is a banger card. Useless in Commander. Completely useless, but totally fine in Magic. Evenly matched. The 4 mana Snap Trap. Cast evenly match only at the end of combat step. Target opponent exiles as many non-land permanents they control face down as possible? So basically they just flip their whole board over. Until the number of non-land perms they control equals the number of non-land perms you control plus 1. Until the number of non-land perms they control equals the number of non-land perms you control plus 1. Okay, interesting. So we turn everything of yours into like a 2/2. That actually might be fine. I have no idea. There's probably some way to break this card. But if it was in a control deck, I don't think it would do very much. Evenly match is a sideboard staple for the current Yu-Gi-Oh meta, I imagine. I imagine it's a very big swingy card of some sort. Crush Card Virus. I heard there's viruses in Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, we got a 4 mana trap. As an additional cost to cast Crush Card Virus, sacrifice a black creature you control with power 1 or less. Destroy all creatures target opponent controls with power 3 or greater. Also, that opponent reveals all cards currently in their hand, and each card they draw until the end of their turn. The end of their third turn since resolving Crush Card Virus. If a creature card with printed power 3 or greater is revealed this way, that opponent discards it. This reveals. Do we have like a wordy thing? There's so many words on this damn card. 5+ words in card type through our stream. Wooberg. Nope, I don't think it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. I don't even know what this does. I have to sack a creature. Destroy all creatures target opponent controls that are greater than 3 power. Then the opponent reveals all cards currently in their hand, and each card they draw until the end of their third turn since resolving. I don't like how this is worded. Like, this is just stupid. It's a bit too stupid in my opinion. It's a learn grammar card? No, not really. Like, this is just so painful. Like, okay, we're going to keep destroying things. If a creature with power 3 or greater is revealed this way, that opponent discards it. I'm just going to send it to the rank because this is just very, very far from like what Magic the Gathering would do. It's like, okay, you wipe out all your creatures and every creature for the next 3 turns that you draw, you also wipe that out. Okay, now next we have Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. 2 mana waifu card. It's a 0/3 zombie tuner. You can activate the following ability of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring more than once a turn, but you may activate it anytime you could cast an instant. Discard Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, counter target spell or ability that would have one or more players do any of the following evolving cards from any library. Place creatures and/or planeswalkers on the battlefield. Broken! I just have to discard this for 0 and I can counter creatures and planeswalkers. Draw or add cards to a player's hand, mill or send cards to the graveyard. Yeah. That one is too strong, even for Magic the Gathering. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at a Skylar one. The Ceremonious Death Penalty. That sounds nasty. Oh, sorry, Death Party. Ceremonious. Some good graveyard synergy for those aristocrat decks. Oh, this is one card. Thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, the Death Party. It's a 6-mana enchantment. Whenever Ceremonious Death Party enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. Now, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, they mill 3 cards. You may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If you are the Monarch, you may return that target creature card from a graveyard to the battlefield instead. I think this is a completely fine card. This is a very expensive card, by the way, at 6 mana. So it's a bit hard to, or it's harder to go off with this type of thing. And you're only a real winner if you're the Monarch. If someone else steals the Monarch, then we're in trouble here. Death Party, not Death Penalty? Oh. The Death Party. Where's the can't read cards? I think that's the one here. Need to make it extra big X. Supremely big X. Okay. It's good now. I wonder if it needs to be like 6 mana. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe you can get it to 5. Monarch is strong, don't get me wrong, but also the Monarch makes you the target. Everyone wants to be the Monarch. Everyone's trying to take the king off their throne. Okay, Carbonek got some power today. What kind of power? Endbringer Behemoth. The hell is that? Endbringer. Oh, didn't write Endbringer properly. That's a big pile of words, Corbinek. Okay, this is what? 6, 9, 11 mana for a 12/12. Oh! More than a 10/10. We got it. Do we have any bingos yet? No, we're actually 2 away over here, 2 away on this diagonal, 2 away all over the place. Okay, there's a lot of potential here on the bingo side. Legendary creature Endbringer. Haste and Undying. When it enters the battlefield, destroy all lands in play. Their owner may put into play X treasure for each land destroyed this way. Basically, they bought the land. All players gain 5 radiation counters. If Behemoth enters play from a graveyard or exile, its owner takes 20 damage. Oh, God. This effect doesn't take effect if it enters with a -1/-1 counter. Honestly, I think this is fine because the mana cost is just insane. I mean, we're at 11 mana. It should be basically do everything. It should also do my laundry, make my bed, bring me lunch, probably do my grocery shopping. So I think for that mana cost, it's fine. Nope, all lands are destroyed. That's fine. Totally fine. At 11 mana, and it's going to probably win the game. Looks like an Old Legends card. That's Corbinek's style. Corbinek loves all the Old Legends frames. And we have Kepri, Slayer of Zion. What, from like the Matrix? This one's even more expensive. So this is 12 mana for a 2/2. It's very Winter Fox-like, actually. Legendary creature Parahuman. Ward X is equal to the number of creatures in play when this card enters play. Gain control of all creatures in play with power 5 or less. Their toughness becomes 1 so long as they are under this card's controller's control. Huh? During your upkeep, exile 10 cards from the top of your library. Okay, I understand that. The controller of this card cannot cast creature spells or activate the effects of creatures unless they exile 10 cards from the top of their deck. So, hold on, is this something you want to give somebody? When this card enters play, gain control of all creatures in play with power 5 or less. Their toughness becomes 1 so long as they are under this. Okay, I see. Okay, I think that one's a pretty neat card too. Again, with great mana comes great do whatever the hell you want in this world. That first line is written so poorly it qualifies for learn grammar. Ward X. X is equal to the number of creatures in play. When this card enters play, gain control of all creatures. During your opponent. Is it? ward X is equal... Oh, I guess it... Well, I think it's just templated wrong, right? What do you guys think? Bad grammar? Is there bad grammar somewhere else? The controller of this card cannot cast spells or activate the effects of creatures unless they exile 10 cards from the top of their deck. During your upkeep, exile 10 cards, and you play this card, gain control of all creatures, and play with power 5 or less. Their toughness becomes 1 as long as they are under this card's controller's control. That might be wrong. Under this card's controller. I think controller's control probably is not necessary. I think. Enters play is probably old templating too. No. Enters play is new, actually. It's very, very new. That's how it works now. Okay, next up. Let's see the second half to Winter Fox. Thanks so much for your gigantic super chats. See, the Dream Mirror series continued too. Dream Mirror series. And you said these are the creatures. All right, here's the creatures for today. We got the Shimmer Glass Mirrored Fairy. Oh, we got fairies today. Except it's a fairy here, but it's not a fairy there. It's for colorless snow, 4 generic, a 0/1 Dream Mirror Spirit. Shroud Indestructible. It's got Reflective and Entity 2. This creature enters the battlefield with N reflection counters on it. Can't you just say it like has reflection too? Like, isn't that just the same mechanic? Like, why are we having like different names for the same mechanic? That doesn't make any sense to me. Because we like reflection, you have like a lot of reflection or I don't know, maybe this is the first time I'm seeing reflection counters on creatures. Okay, we have a colorless snow tap. Target creature has -1/-1 for each reflection counter on it until end of turn. If target creature dies due to previous effects, deal 3 damage to its owner. I thought reflection counters... Oh no, it can't be sacrificed. Okay, I guess you can still target it. It's similar, but no secondary counter effect like Mirror Lens have. That's confusing. That's really... Honestly, it's confusing. Okay, the Dream Mirror, Illusory Idolia, 7 mana, 0/1 Dream Mirror Spirit. It's got Shroud and Indestructible this time. Reflective Entity 2. And it also has, for 2 mana, tap, creatures you control have +1/+1 for each reflection counter on them until end of turn. So this one buffs. So the other one, you want to like give the counters and then shrink their guys. And then this one, it buffs your creatures. And we got the Glitter Moon Deceptive Fantasia for 7 mana. It says another 0/1. You know, one common theme with Winter Fox is gigantically expensive cards, very small power and toughness, but they're basically indestructible. Shroud and Indestructible. You can't get rid of my creature. How can you get rid of this? I guess bounce it with like Cyclonic Rift. Also has Reflective Entity too. 2 mana, tap. Move 1 counter from target permanent to another permanent. If the target permanent has a reflection counter on it, it loses all abilities. Oops. The Aura Fade Empress Titania. This one's 10 mana for a 0/1 Shroud Indestructible. And has... Why does it have Ward 5? That is completely redundant. You can't target it. Oh yeah, I forgot. Steve Cooper got in there before I even talked about it. Yeah, Dress Down sort of gets around this. Okay, so protection from Dress Down. No, but then it doesn't even have Ward. Ward 5 with Snow. So you need... Yeah, so like Dress Down doesn't even hit this thing. Like, sorry, Dress Down hits it, but like the Ward won't protect. So I don't know what Shroud and Ward on here protects from Shroud Piercing. How many cards are those? What, like 3? Anyway, it's not illegal, okay? Okay, 2 mana, tap. Target creature with a reflection counter on it. Then the owner of a target creature loses life. Oh, sorry. Tap target creature with a reflection counter on it. Then the owner of target creature loses life equal to its current power. 2 mana, tap untap target creature, except Aura Fade, with a reflection counter on it, then gain life equal to its current toughness. That's interesting. You made sure that you could... This thing wasn't going infinite on itself, where you tap it and then untap it to infinitely untap itself. Works. Q is like, why do you need... Yeah, why do we need to protect from everything? Like, what else are we gonna... You know what? I'll give you an answer, Q. That's just how custom card players are. Their cards must be indestructible. It cannot die to anything. And also Tiger is like, we paid $10 to have the most indestructible creature on the show. That was Aura Fade. And then we've got the Crowned Crystal Labyrinthia. This is a 10 mana 0/1. Shroud Indestructible. And a ward 5 with snow. You gotta pay up that snow, people. Pay 5, tap, remove up to 5 reflection counters from anywhere on the battlefield, then deal damage to all non-Dream Mirror creatures equal to the number of counters removed in the form of -0, -1 counters. If the creature dies from the prior effects, deal damage equal to the creature's power to its owner. I have no idea what this card does. Okay, we're removing 5 reflection counters from anywhere on the battlefield. Then deal damage to all non-Dream Mirror creatures equal to the number of counters removed in the form of... So I can only remove the -0, -1 counters? Is that what I'm gathering? If a creature dies from the prior effects, which I don't know what that means, deal damage equal to creature's current power to its owner? I think what you mean is, if a creature dies this way, then deal damage equal to the creature's current power to its owner. Or former power, because it died? It's the AoE version of the first card. I don't know, maybe I didn't understand the first card. Shadow Walker says, about 3 shroud removers, and one of them also removes ward. Interesting. Shadow Walker, we're future-proofing these cards. Future-proofing. Yeah, protection from a very, very small amount of cards. Okay, this needs to be reworded. This doesn't make sense. Remove reflection counters. Add -0, -1 counters to the amount of reflection counters removed. You could say that, but anyway, you gotta clean this up. It doesn't make I don't think it makes any sense based on how it's worded right now. Do we hit 15 mana? No, these are all like 10 mana. Stream, 5+ words. Legend doesn't apply. What's going on with the casting cost? That it should really like what's going on with like the ward cost? 5+ words in card type. Did we get in here? I mean this one, I guess. Because there's 5 words in the card type. Legendary creature, Dream Mirror, Spirit Queen. Okay, I think that counts. Okay, we do cross that off. What else? Chaos ensues. No, we haven't hit there yet. Should chaos ensue for these? Do you know what? Chaos might have ensued on this exact card. Oh, we have a bingo! We bingoed it, people. We got 1 bingo. Okay, we got 1. Oh no, we have 2 bingos. Oh, we double bingoed this one. It's a double. Yeah, we're definitely gonna say chaos ensues on this one because it like falls apart at the end. Okay, we have 2 bingos. We're working on a third. Legend doesn't apply. Okay, now moving on. We still got them super chats coming. We got Majra. Okay, let's take a look at Majra. You've got part 10 of the Sapta Sagara. You're the only person, Majra, that gets a series up to part 10. The only person, I think. You're that dedicated. You go deep, Majra. Okay, more sirens. 2 mana, 2/2 siren with Island Walk. It gets +2/+2 as long as you control 2 face-down permanents. Okay. Whenever you turn a permanent face up, target creature gets +1/+1 and death touch until end of turn. Very strong, but very fair, especially since, like, face down cards, it's hard to turn them face down, hard to turn them face up. So there should be a payoff for them. The Siren of the Coasts. 2 mana, 2/2 Siren Scout with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, surveil 1. That's pretty cool. Whenever an island enters the battlefield under your control, surveil 1, then draw a card. That's insane! What? What is going on here? Just play island and I draw cards and surveil at the same time? No, absolutely not.
God, please, no.
This is just way too strong. Get it out of here. Just play an island. Whenever an island enters under my control, I surveil 1. Just turn 3, Siren of the Coast, play a land, and it pays for itself. Also, if we can ramp somehow. Oh, you know what I can also do? Save up fetch lands. Fetch land, fetch land, fetch land, fetch land. Play Siren of the Coasts, then crack all the fetch lands simultaneously, like draw 4 cards. Surveil 1 twice. Also, if it's not... Oh, yeah, that's true. That's insane. Maj, you're doing so good for so long. A lot of these cards were balanced, and that one just went off completely. Siren of the Deep is a 2 mana 2/2 Siren Shaman. Gets +2/+2 as long as you control at least 2 face down permanents. Whenever you turn a permanent face up, target target creature gains +1/+1 and trample until end of turn. It's completely fine. It's very in line with the Siren of the Algae Forest. Then Siren of Mangroves, 2 mana 2/2 Siren Rogue. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, exile a target card from a graveyard. That's a grammar break for sure. If that is a swamp, exile 2 cards instead. Oh, you mean if one? I think it should say something like, if you target a swamp, you may target another permanent. You can target one more permanent or something like that. Whenever an artifact or creature card is exiled this way, surveil 1. That's actually very neat. So that one's neat. This one's like Landfall Graveyard Hate. Actually, I really like this card. Hang on to those sirens. Hang on. Are those sirens or sirens? Oh, it's a very cute joke you have there, Shining Shogun. You're a funny guy. You're a funny person. Yeah, target an additional permanent or something like that. Okay, moving on. We got the last one. Siren of the Marigots. I don't know what a Marigot is. 4 mana for a 2/2 Siren Assassin. It's got landfall. Whenever a land enters under your control, put a -1/-1 counter. Put a -1/-1 counter creature an opponent controls. Okay, we have not proofread these, have we, Majra? So it's put a -1/-1 counter on target creature an opponent controls, and then whenever a swamp enters under your control, destroy target creature with total power and toughness 5 or less. That's whenever a swamp. If you have Urborg out and you play a fetch line, you get like 2 things on the battlefield at the same time. That also sounds like very, very dangerous. Just play land, blow something up. And it's not even 5 or greater. It's 5 or less, so it can certainly wipe out tons of cards. And we're already shrinking things, so we shrink creatures and blow them up. I don't know. I've never played against this card before. But it sounds insane. Yeah, this is crazy removal. Now I understand why we need this crazy card draw. We need this crazy card draw to make up for this, like, insane removal we have over here. Swamp, swamp, swamp. Just need an Urborg and it's all over. I'm going to be on the safe side and disqualify this one. This one's too strong. The other 3 were very much in line and fair. This one's definitely insane. Siren of the Coast, definitely nuts. This one might be fine, but I doubt it. Apocalypse is like, the moment your playgroup kicks you out. If it's the only target, it kills itself. Never land. Swamp, destroy target creature with power. Yeah, I mean, then you just don't play it. Or you just don't play the land. Right? Have I missed the non-targeted donos? No, we haven't hit there yet. We're on our way though. Here, let's look at some $2 donos. Let's get one from One Frame James. The Dominant Growth. Dominance. Is this Link? This is green, green, green. Legendary enchantment. Lands you control don't untap during your untap step. Well, that's not good. Pay 1 life. Untap target land you control. So it's like, it's Necropotence for mana? Oh yeah, it is. This is worse, actually. This is potentially... Well, I don't know what the rest of this card says, but it's potentially worse than Channel. It's more danger than Channel. You can't play non-forest lands. Like, what does it matter? Non-forest lands? Oh, you can't play... Oh, so you can only play basic forest. So you're not allowed to play with, like, well, like, whatever. You know, we have infinite mana. Or as much mana as we have life. During your untap step, lands your opponents control untap. During your untap step. Oh, so we double our opponent's land, sort of. Interesting. This is pretty bad. I think this is insane. It's just at 3 mana, you have infinite mana. Turn 1, Mana Dork. Turn 2, Dominant Growth. Okay, pay a life. Untap my forest. Tap it. I'll pay a life. Untap my forest. Do it perpetually. It'll be absolutely nuts. Dimitri says, was asking since trying to save up for the huge 4K. What are you doing? That's insane. And was curious about if I missed potential hits of previews of Mario Universes Beyond set stuff. I don't think we've hit anything yet. Am I gonna have to look up every single one of your cards? The 4K show? Oh my god. Yeah, this is just Channel. I mean, it's slightly better. I'm sorry, it's slightly worse. Because of course you give your opponent the, more mana for their turn. And also it technically costs 1 more green. So it's just a strictly worse Channel, but still Channel nonetheless. I mean, it's just complete nonsense. Is there any permanent life gain that you could make infinite combo with that? Probably. But it shouldn't be too hard. Okay, how to make this fair? I don't know. Pay 2 life, maybe? 1 definitely not. But even then, even at 2 life, you have access to like 20 mana. It's Channel, but you can't cast spells over the amount of life. Does it say that? You can't play It doesn't say that. You can't cast spells over the amount of lands. All you need is 1 land. Okay, let me explain this to you. It says, okay, lands you control don't untap during your untap step. You can't play non-forest lands. During your untap step, lands your opponents control untap. This is how it works. You have 1 forest in play. Tap it for a green. Pay 1 life. Untap it. Tap it for your second green. Pay a life. Untap it. Tap it for your third green. And you just keep going. It doesn't say it doesn't say once per turn. Untap target land you control. That's it. It's just pay 1 life. And you can do it perpetually for forever. Oh, yeah, okay, so you could... I guess what you could... To make it fair, it just says untap target land you control. Play this ability only once per turn. But then you have to get rid of everything else and just completely revamp it. Fuzzy Moth is like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Well, I did. I've been here before. Sorry, dominant growth. Too dominant. Way too dominant. Let's take a look at another one from Tavishel. The Gore... Did we do... Maybe... Is this a different one? Gore Burad. Oh no, yeah, we did Gore Burad. Okay, we have a dono to Pegman. I believe that hits the bingo card. Yuka. Death Gardener. All right, Pegman. 1 hour, 34 minutes into the show. You got a card. It's a black, green, 3 generic, 4/4 demon with Death Touch and Persist. See, we don't need... Pegman's like, don't need Shroud or Hexproof. Persist. That's the way to do it. Whenever another non-plant creature dies, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. Sacrifice 3 plants. Put a +1/+1 counter on Yuka. Plants you control get +1/+1 for each creature card in all graveyards. Whenever another non-plant token dies, create a 0/1 plant. So, whenever a non-plant creature dies, we get a plant token. Oh, I see. Okay, so something dies, it turns to plant. we all become plants, and then you can sacrifice 3 plants to put +1/+1 counter on Yuka, and the plants get bigger for each creature card in all graveyards. One plants you control get +1/+1 for each creature card in all graveyard. So a creature dies, you get a 1/2. Then if a second creature dies, you have like the things are this is crazy. This actually might be broken. Like basically, as your creatures die, you put insane gigantic creatures on the battlefield. I think. Dimitri says, Pedgeman survives off the donos and upvotes, since I believe they can't super chat. To some degree, yes. I think the card is fine, but the card must be more expensive. 5 mana seems very cheap for this effect. Especially since you can fill your graveyard with a bunch of creatures in addition to your creatures just dying. It also says, like, whenever a non-plant creature dies, so you could have, like, a bunch of tokens on the battlefield that you kill off, and then they just turn to plants. Although it doesn't fill your graveyard, I suppose. It's not counters, it's dynamic, but it's tied to Yuka, and she dies and they come back to a 0/1. Maybe I would play with this card, and it's really not that bad. But I think it's on the more dangerous side. Seems dangerous to me. Do we want to give a random... Let's give a random super chat to Rob. Or not give a random super chat. Give opportunity before we get back to the 10 big ones. Because usually I get these smallest super chats at the end of the show. You chant. Or maybe it's blue-red chant. The chant of Pendrell Vale. That's old! That looks like a really old card. The chant of Pendrell Vale. That's a lot of words in the title. Does it hit anything? 5 words in name. We got the 5 words in name. Definitely. That is any more bingos? No more bingo. No, we didn't get a bingo. Okay, go back. The chant of Pendrell Vale. 5 words. Quadruple blue, sorcery. Other players take 3 extra turns after their next respective turns and draw 3 cards. They're going to take 3 extra turns and draw 3 cards. That's like 6 cards that they're drawing here. If you control 4 cards named the Tabernacle, 4 cards named Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale, Pendrell Mist, and or Magus of the Tabernacle, or they are in your graveyard instead, you take 3 extra turns after this one. You draw 3 cards, and you may search your library for or graveyard for the Tabernacle of the Pendrell Vale and put it into play. Well, why are we searching? You draw 3 cards, and you may search your library or graveyard for Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. Did we have to have one of those things in play? I don't understand this card. So if you control 4 cards named the Tabernacle of the Pendrell Vale, Pendrell Mist, and or Magus of the Tabernacle, or they are in your graveyard, instead you take... But I have to control them, right? So if I control Tabernacle, so I guess if I control Tabernacle, I can look for Tabernacle. If I don't control Tabernacle and I own one of the other ones, I put this onto the battlefield. It's probably just... This is probably has to be broken. There's no downside unless you get Mind Slave. It's not like you're ever gonna... Well, no, so the thing is, in response to the chant of Pendrell Vale, someone could exile all these cards from our graveyard, or destroy them in play. But it's like really minor of a downside, if anything. Probably like almost never. Yeah, 3 extra turns. So there's like this massive downside if that ever happens, but it probably like never happens. This could be a real Ice Age card. It's it's so dumb. Just like the yeah, so wacky like the old cards. Do we hit anything else? 3+ hour stream, Wooburg card, 15+ mana. Oh, Majra donated to Pedgeman. We got that one a little bit earlier. Okay. Moving on. We got a massive super chat here from Double Negative. Thank you so much for the insane super chat. Hey, Nikachu, I learned about MTG from nothing but your AI streams. That is so weird. So I made a custom set. It's called Mau Gakuen. Okay, this is interesting. So what, like, you know nothing about Magic the Gathering? We're in for a treat today. someone who is outside our community was so fascinated by the custom cards, Gakuen, that they wanted to make a series. Okay, we're going to look at half of your series now and then half your series later, because we usually just look at about 5 cards per super chat. But you do have a beautiful series. Okay, here's someone who does... I'm assuming you don't play Magic. So this is from the imagination of someone who doesn't play Magic. The 0 mana Venus Donor. It is an equipment for nothing. That is already broken. It can be destroyed or exiled while Delsgad is on the battlefield, which it's not yet. Equipped creature gets Wooburg, tap, change a rule of the game. Oh, God. You may not change win or lose conditions this way, nor may you use names or reference mechanics outside the game. You can't win before your next turn ends. Okay, now this is a Dimitri level card. Do we have a Dimitri thing here? Super chat, 15 plus 1, 3 plus 7. Oh, damn, it doesn't hit any of these things. This is such a Dimitri idea. Is it Wooburg? No, it's not Wooburg in the did it say Wooburg casting cost? Oh, it's a Wooburg card. You're right. All right, we do hit this one. No bingos, though. It's close. Okay, let's look at this next one. The Delsgade. Okay, legendary land. Tapped out of black. So it's just a strictly better swamp. Demons you control get +1/+1. All right, we got some demon support here. Venus Donor has equip double black. This honestly is actually probably fine. It's probably fine. I don't know how many cheap demons there are out there. Interesting. Okay, I actually will say this is fine. Because I'll tell you why this Venus Donor has equipped double black is fine. This card would be banned instantly. That's why. So this last ability is meaningless. It's redundant. So it's just basically a swamp that can buff up demons somewhere along the lines. Anos Voldegode. It is a 11 mana Demon Lord. It's a 6/7. Hexproof, indestructible, and reach. Tap. Search your library for a card named Delsgade with the land. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Anos Void's Goad can be played from exile or your graveyard without paying its mana cost if it has been on the battlefield before. Oh, that's interesting. Honestly, I don't think cards like that would actually work, but I would be fine with... how would we word this? So you basically want to say, well, it's basically indestructible. You know, I think it's just better you say it's indestructible, because that's just basically what you're trying to say. Although I guess if it's indestructible, if someone tries to destroy it on their turn, it's still on the battlefield. This actually has the potential to leave the battlefield. I know what you're trying to do, but like Magic just wouldn't template something like this. 4+ mana symbol again. Is that a bingo card thing? 4+ single color mana. Oh, you're right. And we hit another bingo. We got it on the diagonal. There we go. We got 3 bingos now. We're doing great today. Wait, shouldn't hexproof, indestructible, and reach be on one line? You know what? I'm not going to judge them on that. That sounds a little bit too harsh. Okay, so as is, I think this last line just has to change into something. What's your flavor text? Did you really think killing me was enough to make me die? You could give it Undying as well. That's a mechanic. Undying is like when the creature dies, it comes back with a +1/+1 counter on it. Sorry, if it didn't have a +1/+1 counter on it, bring it back to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter. We got Ley Gransley. It's the 12 mana star 7 demon. When Ley Gransley enters the battlefield, put 7 soul counters on it. When Ley Gransley has a soul counter on it, it can't be exiled or killed. Designed like a true custom card designer. If those would occur, remove a soul counter instead, then reset Ley Gransley's damage. Oh yeah, okay. Shield counter. Basically, you're making a shield counter. A shield counter is if the card would be destroyed, instead remove the shield counter and it lives. So you just had like a more messed up wordy way of saying it. Its power is 1 less than the number of non-token creatures you control. That also is completely fine. I think this is underpowered. Enters the battlefield, put 7 soul. Oh, wait a minute, you're putting 7 shield counters on it. That's pretty hilarious. But I do think it's like at 12 mana, it's totally fine. Can we not do can't be exiled stuff? Oh, of course you can do that. Okay, and we look at one more for now, and then we'll look at the last 5 later. We got Zeshia. It's a 2 mana 1/2 human. Pay a white, tap, create a token that's a copy of Zeshia. The copy has haste. Oh god! So hold on. So you have as much white mana as you have. Oh, this is already broken. So basically you can keep making more copies of this creature for as much as you have white mana. And for a black, because like you have 5 white mana. Pay a white, tap, make a token. It has haste. Also pay a white, tap, make a token. And they don't die at end of turn. Pay a black, tap, sacrifice Zeshia. Deal 3 damage to all tapped creatures and 2 damage to all opponents. Zeshia can't block. Gavul. Maybe this card is sort of fine. It's probably not. Like, I'm just thinking, even if we do multiply this by as much mana as we have, we're just mostly dirtling. But it's probably too strong. Probably. And Corbinick's like, don't worry, we can proliferate some more if needed. 7 isn't enough for that casting cost. Yeah, I know. Yeah, 7 shield counters on the Lay Gransley. Okay, very interesting cards. We're gonna look at the last 5 later. Okay, next super chat. Let's take from Morbid Panda. We've got second part of the red green color pie from this set. Plus updated card from the first part. Oh, you fixed one? Raven Loft. Part 2. Ooh, you fixed something. Fixaroonies. Ugh, how do I get this thing off? There we go. Okay, we have a 3-mana 6/8. Enters with 5 celebrity counters. Gets -1/-1 for each celebrity counter on it. When it would be placed into exile from the battlefield. Sorry, if it would be placed into exile from the battlefield, and if it had at least 1 celebrity counter on it, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it can die, but it can't be exiled. All right, I approve. I approve of this mouse. Sorry, this Casimir and their mouse. Okay, next up we have Defender of the Wilds. It's a 4-mana 3/4 elf warrior with flash and reach. So it reminds me of Endurance. When Defender of the Wilds attacks or blocks, place a celebrity counter on it. Defender of the Wilds gets +1/+1 for each celebrity counter on it, and pay 3. Remove 3 celebrity counters from Defender of the Wilds. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. I don't see anything broken about this card at all. Actually, I think this is an incredibly well-designed card. I could see this as a real commander card. This looks exactly like an actual commander card. Yeah, so basically you can surprise block, you ambush things, and then you get these counters, and then you can exchange the counters to destroy. You get the celebrity counters, so you can exchange it to destroy artifacts and enchantments. Where's my super chat? Buried. I'll tell you where your super chat is. Where is it? You have any idea? It's right over here. But we have all these. We have so many. I still have $10 super chats to get through, and another 30. And I still have to get to the other half of this $35 super chat. So many super chats. We're gonna get there, Bryce. You're gonna get there. Here, I'll show yours next, just in case you gotta go after this series. Burn the Unworthy. This is a 5-mana sorcery. Deals 4 damage to each creature without a celebrity counter on it. Oh, I see. So the celebrity. I don't understand the lore of the celebrity. This is just we're all famous amongst each other. So everyone looks at each other. Oh yeah, we're famous. We're a big shot on Facebook. We got a whole 10 followers. Probably hitting the 3 out. Well, it depends. The super chats, if they slow down, it'll be fine. Okay, that last card was good. One-sided board wipes, but you have to work for it. Okay, we got the Accomplished Botanist. Very accomplished. Opened their own flower store. 3 mana, 2/3 Elf Druid. Accomplished Botanist enters with a celebrity counter on it. Creatures you control with celebrity counters on them have tap, add a green or a red. And then tap, add X mana of any one color, where X is the number of celebrity counters on Accomplished Botanist. It's probably a pretty strong card, but it's probably fine. It reminds me of a lot of slivers that are like, okay, each sliver can now add mana. Protective Detail. We have a green instant. Place 2 celebrity counters on target creature. It gains hexproof until end of turn. Perfectly fine. Okay, let's take a look at... Bryce is like, I got a card! Damn it, I super chat at the beginning of the show. I know, you got bombarded. You have to be really early, Bryce. Like, you got to be there at 3 o'clock with your $2 to super chats. Ancestral Protocol. Like, if you're there at the beginning of the show, you're almost guaranteed to get your super chat in. Okay, we got a blue. It's got no card type to it. Oh, does that hit here? Type creature only. Creature only. No. Super chat. No. Okay. Okay, it's got no card type. Kicker of 3 mana. Target player draws a card if the kicker cost was paid. Oh, sorry. Target player draws a card, comma. Sorry. Hold on. Target player draws a card, comma. If the kicker cost was paid, target player draws 3 cards instead. So 4 mana, draw 3 cards? Is this a sorcery or something? Is this sorcery or instant? This literally has nothing. Yeah, grammar. Also, card type. We really rushed this one. This one basically, did anyone proofread this thing? Anybody? Okay, but I'm here till the end. Okay. I don't have enough information here. It's an enchantment? Oh, it cannot be an enchantment. That'd be absolutely busted. Absolutely busted. Okay, let's just assume. Okay, what if it's an instant? 4 mana, you draw 3. You can give 3 to somebody else. It might be okay. Actually, yeah, it might be okay. Especially if it's a sorcery. If it's an instant, I don't know. That one might be broken, but 4 mana, tap out, draw 3 might be okay. If it does nothing else. Oh no, but it also just cantrips off itself, so that might be okay. Dimitri's like, I am terrified of its potential power. Maybe it's powerful. It's like a concentrated instant speed with modal ability to be really cheap. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, next up. Let's okay, we'll show a little bit of love to Islarf. Start playing Pokemon! Well, congratulations. Enjoy the headache. Yeah, more and more people move into all the other card games. Especially after they keep banning our cards. Okay, Mew, new species of Pokemon. Huge fan of Mew. 4 mana for a 4/4 fairy Pokemon. Is it really a fairy? I thought it was like an alien. I think it literally came from outer space. Plays around in space and all that. Mew cannot be your commander. That's interesting. Finally, a card that actually says you may not be the commander. Is there something for like unique text here? Super chat, 15 plus mana. Legend doesn't apply. What's going on with the casting cost? Okay. Type creature only. What is type creature only? I don't understand this one. Like, I don't know how we ever check that box off because I don't even know what that one means for Genka. Okay, anyway, it's a changeling. Mew is all colors while not in the library. And at the beginning of your upkeep, choose an activated ability of a creature an opponent controls. Tap X, activate the chosen ability using X as cost for any instance of X. This is actually a supreme banger card. I think that's very, very unique and interesting. It's very cool. So basically, it's a changeling that copies. Although, to be honest, is this even... I don't think it's flavorful. Like, Mew wasn't a clone. This is not a Ditto. Unless this is Ditto, acting like a Mew to copy other people's abilities. But like this has more Ditto on it than Mew. Again, I'm no Pokemon expert. But I used to play Red and Blue when I was a kid. That was a long time ago. Maybe 25 years ago. It's considered to be a fairy in the TCG in some prints. Okay. Does it work? I think it works. You choose an activated ability of a creature an opponent controls. You know what you could actually say is at the beginning of your upkeep, choose a creature an opponent controls, and then activate abilities of the chosen type using X cost for any instance of X or whatever. So you like tap you could reword it. Just say you can like play one of the activated abilities on that card. I'm old. I'm really, really old. I think I'm older than you guys expect. I'm not a youngin' anymore. I was there when the Pokemon cards came out. I was there when Red and Blue came out. I was there when the internet gave me so much misinformation to get a Mew. Okay, little story time here. Back in the day on the internet, there were so many stupid web pages saying, "Oh, if you go to the island and you go up, left, right, down, and then like change your Pokemon to this Pokemon and then transport here and there and then go up, left, right." They take you on this wild goose chase to like unlock Mew on the original Red and Blue, and you would get nothing. Nothing would happen. Yeah, you got to use strength on the truck. There was so much crap back then. But here's the crazy thing. Like 20 years later, there's actually a crazy random, not random, but a precise number of inputs that actually gets you the Mew. So wildly enough, there really is actually a way to get Mew that way, except like all the other ways were just complete BS on the internet. You're mentioning missing number? No, missing number is a different way. There's I'm not mentioning missing number. Everyone knew how to get missing number. Everyone screwed up their game getting missing number. But there was all sorts of stupid Mew like red herrings on the internet at the time. I got fooled by the truck as a kid. Oh, we all got fooled. What was that truck for? Everyone, the truck. There must be something to do with that truck. There's got to be something. Spend hours in front of that truck. Am I doing this right? The internet told me so. Okay, Freakinka says type creature only means it's not artifact, legendary, enchantment, creature, or anything else fancy, just creature plus creature type. I edited the bingo card and removed this confusing. Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. I'll tell you what makes no sense. It's too easy. Well, if that's true, then we've had many of those. Okay, well, we'll put that on the bingo card. That definitely got hit already. Okay, we got another one. Another bingo. Oh, what? We're not done. We're not done. Sorry about that. Show going into overtime as usual. Yes, I was misinformed also. Then you're all old like me. Because I was really young when I was using the internet at that time. If you escape rope the same frame you encounter a trainer while having a specific level Pokemon, then on Nugget Bridge you will find a Mew. Yeah, there's all sorts of that stupid crap back then. I should look up a YouTube video about all the random stupid web pages that like just said that there was a Mew somewhere. Okay, moving on. I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed this story because we can all resonate with it. At least if you were still around way back in the day. Okay, next up we look at the damn draws. 4 wise monkeys. Wise, you say? 4 wise. I think that's good enough. Well, here's the first wise. Oh, 3 donos? Oh, God. Okay, 4 wise monkeys. This is a 3 mana kindred enchantment, 8 monkey. See no evil. Tap. 2 mana. Apes and monkeys you control can't be blocked this turn. Hear no evil. Tap. 2 mana. Ape and monkey spells you cast can't be countered this turn. Speak no evil. Tap. Black. Opponents can't cast more than 1 non-ape or monkey spell this turn. Am I crazy, or is the mana cost supposed to come first and then the tap? I don't know what the order is, but it feels wrong intuitively. Do no evil. Tap green. Tap all opponents attacking creatures. Everything seemed fine. Hold on. You're like, I think everything was fine until this do no evil one. Tap all opponents' attacking creatures. Hold on, that doesn't make any sense. Because okay. Technically, you can do that, but it's not gonna do what you want it to do. So basically, what it means is like they're tapped and attacking already, and then you're gonna tap them again, but they're still attacking you. Yeah, exactly. Why would you tap attacking creatures? Okay, so it's legal, but it does nothing. And then 2 mana untap. Oh, that last one is broken. Okay, you had me until that one. This untap. You're basically gonna like crazy. This is just for some control deck. A Golgari control of some sort. Okay, so that vigilance hate. Well, no, but still, if the creatures are attacking, it's too late. So it's basically tap all. What you really wanted to do was tap all opponents' creatures or whatever. But it's too strong. Like the abilities are just way too strong. I would get rid of this tap thing, and I would get rid of this untapping thing because you're basically going to limit your opponents for like playing one spell each turn. I think it's too strong. I could be wrong. Apex. Oh, Apex of Power. You know, Apex. Golgari, and X, sorcery. Exile the top X cards of your library until end of turn. You may cast Ape and Monkey spells among them, and they cost X less to cast. If the spell was cast from your hand, create X banana tokens. Until end of turn, you may cast Ape and Monkey spells among them. Ape and Monkey spells among them, and they cost X less to cast. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, you cast, and they cost X. This actually is not even that good. This spell is cast from your hand, create X banana tokens. I think this card is actually severely underpowered, so. The banana, I believe, was food. It's like a food token. What the ape want? Ape make it be. Because the problem is, if you reveal cards, X cards from the top of your deck, you still have to cast them with mana, so. Banana is a real token. It was not made up. Okay, so this one, totally fine. Okay, you want donations? I'm gonna go to the main page because I'm afraid of sniping everybody. Okay, we got Banana Crypt. Everyone is just a freaking wise guy today. 0 mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, each opponent creates a colorless artifact token named Banana. Again, the banana. What is going on here? This is the Bizarro land. We got banana tokens in Discord. Now we're encountering banana like in the main page. Who made Fergenka? Is this you? Sorry, no. Dadam Draws, is this you? It's you, isn't it? Who made this? Someone named Leonardo Varini. I don't believe it. That's the Damn Draws Reddit username. The sock account. Okay, this okay, anyway, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 2 life. Alright, so it's like sack this artifact, add red or green, then you gain 2 life. Also tap, add double colorless. Yeah, we can't escape the bananas today. Flip a coin. If you lose a flip, each opponent creates... Okay, they get mana. Does that make it fair? I don't know. Probably not, to be honest. Probably that still benefits you more than it benefits them. Simon, Greedwell the Corrupt. 5 mana for a 3/4 human noble with that touch. The Corrupt enter when Simon Greedwell the Corrupt enters, create 3 treasure tokens. When Simon Greedwell dies, sacrifice 3 treasure tokens. Why would you sacrifice them? Like, you've probably already spent them already. It's probably fine though. It's just a 5 mana 3/4 death toucher. You get some little bit of mana ramp. Sword of Past and Future. 3 mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from artifacts and enchantments you don't control. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile a permanent card from your graveyard and the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards, the past and future. So you get to play the card from the top of your deck, which is the future, and a card from your graveyard, which is from the past. It's protection from artifacts and enchantments you don't control. I think that's very interesting. It's quite the sword. Looks like it's made out of bone or something. Sort of past the future. That's the bronze sword. It came from the past, and it has a future. All right, back to the paywalled section. Let's get Darren Jones here. Change the wording to if Anos Voldegode is your commander and you have cast your commander this game, you may cast Anos Voldegode from your graveyard or exile without paying its mana cost. Oh, this wasn't even a series. Can we look at this? Okay, hold on. Anos. I don't remember what your thing was called. Darren Jones. Is it close to the bottom? Can't find it. But you probably haven't resubmitted it anyway. All right, that's some good feedback. With that, we'll donate something. I saw Dimitri. Oh no, Dimitri, that's not really a card. This is a Benovsky card. Okay, yeah, I can't be can't be in the paywalled section. Too many snipes. Let's donate that $10 to Steve the Builder. This is a 5-mana 4/4 human. It's got mine. What's yours is yours. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is also mine. Double X, tap, sack a land. Create X clue tokens if the land was a plains. X map tokens if it was an island. X blood tokens if it was a swamp. X treasure tokens if it was a mountain. And X food tokens if it was a forest. This is very creative. It's got craft. Sacrifice X artifact tokens. Put an artifact with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield. But I think it passes. Even for a Wooburg. Whoops. Even for a Wooburg card. Oh, it's a Minecraft reference. We got Minecraft. I am Steve. Minecraft card. That's new. Yeah, it's amazing. I guess it's just too many generations apart for Minecraft. Minecraft is quite the Zoomer thing. So long, Tiger. Thanks for showing up. You like the art? How many Minecraft users are there here? I've never played Minecraft. I've watched a good chunk of Minecraft from other content creators. Just because like Minecraft is like one of the biggest games on the earth. Yeah, we got the Wooburg already. Wooburg is on the bingo card. What are we going? We were looking for Super Chat just to complete bingo. 15 plus mana. What's going on with the casting cost and the 3-hour plus stream? 3-hour plus stream is might be in the cards. Okay. Let's look at the second half of double negative. Mau. Hopefully I can just find off this. Sweet. Okay, remember, this is the person who just learned Magic the Gathering through our AI show. That's it. Just the AI show. That's crazy. And they made these cards. Some of them being very similar to actual cards in the game. Oh, we got 7 mana for a 5/15 God with Undying. Okay, see, now you got Undying. So you knew what Undying was. Why did you put it on? Why do you have such a weird clause for this thing? Okay, so we have Undying. Tap, create a 2/2 God creature token with flying. Well, we are creating gods. We're the god of all gods. If Naus Gallia is exiled, put a -1/-1 counter on all other gods you control. Okay, I mean, it's perfectly legal. Next up, we've got Avos Dilhevia. Now, this is a 4-mana 5/5 fairy demon. For a black, you may change or remove target non-land permanent's name and subtype. I have no idea what this would do to this game. Is it Desu Wa or Desu Ka? It's like, what? Yo, what the F? That's a weird casting cost. Well, the casting cost is fine. Triple black and a white. It's not too unusual. You may what's really weird is the casting cost does not match this ability. This is a very blue thing. Blue sort of messes around with usually the permanent's name or subtype, if there's ever a color that would do this. It does remove the kindred support. You may change or remove target non-land permanent's name and subtype. So you can turn something into a sorcery, I guess? Hold on. Could you just if we turn something from a creature into an enchantment, it just isn't a creature anymore. So actually, this might be broken. I don't think you can have a go from creature to enchantment and it can still attack. It's just literally just an enchantment on the battlefield. So actually, I do believe that this is broken. Probably. I'm pretty sure that only me or Winterfox would hit the weird mana cost. Oh, I've seen other people. Oh, subtype, not type. You may target non-lands permanent's name and subtype. Okay. Okay, then I guess we'll make it pass. Very strange card. Goddess of Absurdity. The Jin Donov Arcana for 5 mana. It's a sorcery. Exile 2 X cards from your graveyard. The hell does that mean? I guess 2 times X. So if I want to exile 1 card, this doesn't even have X in the casting cost. Shuffle up to X cards from your graveyard into your library. If this spell was kicked, you may play 1 instant or sorcery from among the return cards without paying its mana cost instead of returning it. You don't have X in the casting cost, so that means X is like whatever the hell you want it to be here. And it could just be arbitrary. So you're saying shuffle all the cards from your graveyard into your library, effectively. The cost is exiling 2 X cards. Oh yeah, well, exiling 2 times the cards, sure, but like, there's no you can just say, I mean, maybe for the cost that's fine. I guess for the cost is fine, and then you may play 1 instant or sorcery from among the cards. Okay, you know what? It's like, what is this in the end? This is like 5 plus 3. That's 8 mana. Sure. So you can just arbitrarily exile as many cards as you want from your graveyard and then cast one of them. Yeah, like return 1/3 of your graveyard. Okay, next up. Mishra Necron. Oh, we got like a little Winter Fox action here. Blue, snow 3 generic for a 3/8 demon. Not many blue demons out there. But then again, in the AI world, like anything can happen. For a blue snow, search your library for an artifact and put it onto the battlefield. If Mishra Necron becomes tapped or leaves the battlefield, shuffle the artifact back into your library. Mishra Necron becomes tapped if it blocked. Okay, for 2 mana, search your library for an artifact card. Put on the oh, that's just broken by itself. Okay, why did I have to think about that? If it becomes tapped or leaves the battlefield, shuffle the artifact. So like, okay, so okay, that's interesting. But the problem is you can search out artifacts that have really strong ETBs, so that even if Mishra Necron dies, like you got value out of it anyway. Yeah, another snow card that is not a snow permanent. Yeah, tutor any artifact, seem balanced. Yeah, not. Okay, probably this is broken. Probably that one is broken. Thanks so much, Double Negative, for the cards. It can go from vehicle to aura. Yes, it absolutely could. Talking about the like change type card. Okay, $1 super chats. Who hasn't got a single super chat yet? Let's give one to. Maybe everyone got one. Maybe Elixir hasn't got one. Okay, a Leyline of Nurture. Leylines. 4 mana enchantment. If it's on your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. When it enters, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield with mana value equal to or less than 1 plus the amount of mana spent to play the spell. Okay, so you can get a 1-drop in play instantly. Creature spells you cast have Convoke. I have no... This is... Okay, honestly, this is either like a really balanced card or a card worth banning. I can't tell, because I have not played with this card. It's possible this card goes nuts. So you go Leyline of Nurture, turn 0, play land. You can play a 0... You can play a 1-drop instantly, right? 1 plus the amount of mana spent to cast this spell. It's cost 1 plus the amount. So yeah, so you can play a 1-drop instantly, and then with your 1 mana, you play like a mana dork. Then you can convoke into a 2-mana creature, pass the turn. Next turn, play a land, and then basically put a 5-drop in play, which is really strong. Does it enter if you begin the game with it? Absolutely. Oh, no. Whenever... Oh, sorry. When Leyline of Nurture enters, you may put a creature card. Oh, I see. What is the point of this? Oh, no, it has Convoke. That's the extra bonus. Yeah, so when it enters the battlefield at the beginning of the game, when it ETBs to a trigger, you can have like a Ragavan in play turn 1 or something. Creature spells with Convoke is kind of nuts in of itself. I know. So it's an interesting card. I can't tell if it's broken or not. I mean, I'll give you credit for creativity. Yeah, just play a couple of creatures that make tokens ETB and go. Oh yeah, go brrr. Token generators, love it. Arcanus Ultra, thank you very much for your super chat. What doesn't kill you, version 2. One mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control regenerates, put 3+1/+1 counters on it. Oh! You know what? That's very unique. You're like going back and trying to actually buff up a mechanic that quite largely just doesn't exist anymore. Mostly because it's like sort of complicated. Okay, next up we got Majra, Kogasa, Dreadful Prankster, another dono for, we're gonna see who it is actually. Is it for Pejman? Do you have the hots for Pejman, Majra? Kogasa. Yeah. Pejman's biggest fan, Majra. Okay, we have black, blue, 2 generic for a 2/4 spirit. Whenever a card is returned to a player's hand, that player manifests Dread. And then for 3 mana, reveal target face down permanent. You may return that permanent and up to 1 other permanent or spell with the same mana value back to their owner's hands. So, like, one reason Majra would have given this card is because of the this like synergizes with your series. You have a bunch of face down cards in that series. So whenever a card is returned to a player's hand, that player manifests Dread. And I think you have a few cards like that too, where you bounce cards back to hand. I think it's fine. I don't think it's broken. Regenerate is so old. Older than time. Yeah, but the new Wolverine card in the new Marvel set. What? We can't talk about that, Arcanus. We don't know. Nobody knows about... Shh. Don't get me in trouble. Wizards is watching me. They're looking at me. I accidentally spoiled some of it on stream the other day. Because we were looking through Reddit and it was like there was something in spoilers and then whoops. Okay, Morbid Panda, you got part 3. You're not one more for today. You're not supposed to have more than 10 cards. Okay, this is I'll let you off easy this time. In the future, I'm gonna chew it up. One more update. Look at the blue-white color pair set. All right, let's take a look. Okay, part 3 of the Ravenclaw. Raven Loft. Okay, we got Sidra, Dark Lord of Dementliu. Is that like something like Dementia? Flying Indestructible for 4 mana? Sidra counts as masked. When Sidra Dark Lord enters or attacks, mask target creature. When it enters... Okay, to mask a creature, turn it face down. It becomes a 2/2 with Indestructible. A masked creature... creature's controller may pay for it anytime to turn it face up. If a creature would be turned face up, exile it instead? This card's insane! It's absolutely insane. It's flying, it is indestructible, it costs almost nothing, it turns creatures face down, so it's like removal, and then it even has this claw. You even say, okay, they can turn it face up for 4 mana, but if they do that, it gets exiled. Pretty crazy card. Okay, if I understand that correctly, whenever enters or attacks, mass target creature. Oh yeah, this thing's completely busted. Okay, Red Widow Acrobat, 5 mana for a 4/4. It's got Flash and Changeling. When Red Widow Acrobat enters, choose 1. Mask target creature, which is again like removal. Oh, but you can turn it face up this time. Exile target face down creature until Red Widow Acrobat leaves play. This is like just tons of removal. 3 mana, Red Widow Acrobat becomes a copy of target creature exiled by it this turn. Oh, that's interesting. This might be fine. So, like, it's like an Oblivion ring, right? That's basically what it is. It's just an Oblivion ring on here. Next up, we've got Belle of the Ball. It's a 4-mana 2/2 human noble. It's got Masquerade. During your turn, you may pay 3 and place this card face down as a masked creature. It's a 2/2 with indestructible. Turn it face up at any time for 4 mana. You know, these wordy cards, I used to say, like, these are unrealistic cards. Wizards would never make this stuff. And now Wizards makes cards just like this. Another indestructible creature for 4 mana. When it's turned face up, create a 2/2 white human noble creature token. During your turn, hold on, it's during your turn, you may pay 3 and place this card face down as a masked creature. Yeah, but you don't need to do that. It's better as a 2/2. Masked creatures your opponents control must block Bell if able. I think this card's also broken. What's with these cards? What's with this indestructible mechanic? You know, indestructible isn't supposed to be used lightly. Like, I don't know. What's the cheapest creature that's indestructible in the actual game? I don't know if there's anything below, like, 6. Okay, next up, we've got Unmask the Imposter. A 4-mana instant. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a masked creature. Exile target tap creature. That one I can get behind. That's easy and simple. Fact, it's probably underpowered. You could make it 3 mana instead of 4. And the Great Masquerade, the 7-mana legendary enchantment. When you cast the Great Masquerade, destroy all creatures. Creatures enter the battlefield masked. They enter as a 2/2 creature with indestructible. They're also indestructible. I can't imagine the gameplay with all these cards. It's just a bunch of creatures bouncing off of each other, essentially. Oh yeah, to be honest, Nikachu, they don't use indestructible lightly. Uses it heavily. That's correct. You're not wrong. Oh yeah, Thassa. Okay, Thassa is 3-mana indestructible, but usually not a creature that early. Darksteel Mirror and Arwen Mortal Queen are both indestructible for 3 mana. All right, I've been proven wrong. Morbid Panda says, I designed these more for flavor in my defense. Oh, you're a Winter Fox sort of person. Winter Fox also donates out of flavor. Okay, masked creatures control get +1/+1 for each masked creature on the battlefield. And the funny thing, this is like sort of redundant because, like, what does it matter? Your creatures are bigger. Everything masked is indestructible, and then they just you can have like a 20/20 masked creature, and their 2/2 indestructible just blocks it. And then non-masked creatures have at the beginning of your upkeep, you may mask this creature. If you don't, sacrifice it at the start of your next end step. It's like you get masked or you're not going anywhere. It's masked or nothing. Okay, next up. Winter Fox. Now I want Snow Colorless Squirrel for Toads. It's short and fun. This is the 11th card. Thank you very much for your super chat and your donation to Toads. Everyone got to give a little love to Toads. Is Toads even still here? Snow. Everyone has like a theme, a thing. Oh, this is for Toads. It's like a gift for Toads. Toads, you got a gift. The myth. Oh, you made a squirrel card for Toads. Okay, double colorless, double snow, 1 generic for the pure white squirrel. The myth squirrel, the Eldra Eraser. It's a 1. It's still a 1/1 though, which is quite hilarious. Indestructible, devoid division. All cards lose devoid and have all colors. Target Eldrazi creature is removed from the game. I didn't know the squirrel was that powerful. The one squirrel to rule them all. Who needs 15 when you have this one? Cards removed in this way are considered outside the game. All right, that's definitely a pass. Sorry, definitely a pass. All right, next up. Let's just get this in. Let's get one from Robert. I don't know how long you've been waiting there, Robert, but we got you. Sherlock Hilms. Sherlock Hilmes? Sherlock Hilmes? Sure. Was on my Discord? Oh, you misspelled Holmes. But I found it. We got Sherlock Holmes. It's It's the case is afoot. It is a 5-mana, 3/5 human detective. Whenever a creature you control dies, investigate. Why are all my creatures dying? We're gonna get in there for a closer inspection. And then also for 0 mana, sacrifice a clue token for nothing. Draw a card. You may only use this ability during your turn. Oh, I thought you were gonna say like once per turn. Can we break this card? I have a feeling this card could get broken in half. There's like token doublers out there, right? So you play a clue, and then you get like 2 clues, and then you just sacking them for nothing and drawing cards. And there might be other cards that I don't know how this is gonna work. Pay 0, sack a clue token, draw a card. You may use this ability only once. Oh no, it says okay, only you may use this ability once during your turn. Okay, it's actually been very well worded. I was interpreting it as you can only do it once it is during your turn, but you're only allowed to do it once. Yeah, once per turn, only your turn. You're right, Pedge Man. Okay, that's a perfectly designed card in my opinion. This is absolute. This looks like a real commander that they could make. Maybe it is a real commander. I don't know. Maybe it's coming out in the next set, the Sherlock Holmes set. Next up, let's take a look at the damn draws with Raccoon. Very weird way to spell it, though. Aha, for Steve Cooper. This is a black-red 2/1 Raccoon Rogue with haste. Whenever an opponent expends 5, that player discards a card. I don't even know what expend is. Is this just like an AI-generated card? It's a Rakdos Raccoon. Ah, I get it. The Rakdos Raccoon. It's a raccoon because it's Rakdos and Raccoon. I don't know what expend 5 is. I'm assuming it's going to be fair. That player discards a card if they expend 5. Corbinek, just one more. Crawler version 2. You got it, bud. Crawler. They be creepy crawling around here. 4 mana for a 1/12 legendary creature, mutated human. This card cannot be sacrificed, countered, or targeted by instants or sorceries with converted mana cost 3 or less. Pay 2. This card gains Death Touch and fights target creature for 2 mana. But it's only a 1/12. Maybe this is still strong. I'm just curious, like, how high does the toughness need to be before a card actually becomes broken? You can regenerate it as well. When Crawler is regenerated after taking damage, put 3+1/+1 counters on it. Activate only once each turn. That's still insane. This card cannot be sacrificed, countered, or targeted by instant or sorcerers with converted mana cost 3 or less. I think this card's probably too much. This is just one of those, like, it's too many words on it. That's a human? Former victims, I suppose so. It has Death Touch, Nika. It gains Death Touch and fights target creature. Don't think cannot be sacrificed by works in the rules. Oh yeah, like everyone's like, no, it does. I can't remember how it's actually worded, but it's like your creatures cannot be sacrificed by spells or abilities your opponents control. Yeah, activate only once per turn, but it's a triggered ability. I mean, like, I think it's still pretty strong. Get rid of, like, a whole line of text out of here, and then probably it's fine. Or, I don't know, make it a 1/2 or something. I don't like... You know what I don't like? I don't like it's impossible to kill, and it has regenerate. Like, that should be the thing that keeps it alive. Okay, let's get one from Benovsky. Ying Siren. Let's take a look at that one. Last Paladin's commander today. I think you're near the front. The Ying Siren. This is a blue-green 1/2 Merfolk Witch. I didn't know we have witches in the sea. Well, I guess the Little Mermaid, the ant or something, was a octopus witch. Okay, we have tap, blue and green. Create a 1/1 blue Reflection creature token with tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Is this a shout out to Winter Fox? And also we have a blue-green. Sacrifice a reflection token you control. Scry 2, then draw a card. Then put that card onto the battlefield if it's a land. It's a merfolk! I don't know if it's useful to me, though. It's very mana-intensive. It doesn't even make merfolk. It makes reflection creature tokens. Winter Fox is like, huh? How am I going to fit blue and green in all my colorless snow decks? Well, I'll tell you what. There's a lot. You got to choose some snow land. You could choose snow covered wastes, or you could choose snow blue and snow green lands. Okay, next up. Something from Majra. Chiyari, the Blood Broker. I think I saw this card. Another gift to Pedgeman. Gift to the Pedgeman. The Lord of Waifus. The waifu cards. 4 mana for a 2/4 Beast, Horror, Vampire. Lifelink and Menace. If you would pay life. If there were 10 or less debt counters on Chiyari, you may instead put that many debt counters on Chiyari. Okay, so instead of paying life, we put debt counters. When Chiyari leaves the battlefield, you lose 2 life for each debt counter on her. Oh, interesting. When Chiyari deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 3 mana. If you do, remove all debt counters from Chiyari, and she deals that much damage to that player. Here's this sounds like it's going to be broken with anything that makes you pay life. I don't know. Maybe it's hard to actually make use out of this card. Oh, Reflection is a type used for copies and illusions in quite a few MTG cards. Oh, okay, I was not aware. I think this is Reflection as in Water Mirror, not a counter. Okay. Majra says Ursula was cool. She was mother. Was she mother? No, you're talking about your mother. I don't think it was the Little Mermaid's mother. I don't know what to say about this. I like the idea of paying life turns into debt, but it sounds like you could just go infinite with like a Necropotence and just not care. I mean, of course, if it dies, well, if she dies, she dies. And I guess at the same time, you're basically going to die. This is this is a hard card to evaluate because on the surface, I think it's fine, but probably in practice, it could be insane. It could be super goated. Can only stack 10 max on her, does it say? If there would be 10 or less debt counters. Oh, you capped it. Okay, then this is this is a simple, easy pass. Then I just like the card in general. I like it all around. Do we have a super chat only to complete bingo? We do now. We got the super chat just to complete bingo. It doesn't go anywhere though. We are super stuck here. Thank you very much for the super chat. Legend doesn't apply. These last few are tough. Well, the 3-hour stream, I don't even think we're going to make it to the 3-hour stream. So what do we got? What's going on with casting cost? Legend doesn't apply in 15 mana. All right, for that, we're going to donate that super chat to the freebie section. Sol Goodman. Is that an actor? 2 mana for a 2/2 legendary creature. It's a human rogue. It's got eminence. Oh, God. If Sol Goodman is in the command zone, you may begin the game by searching target opponent's hand and library for a card named Soul Ring and exiling that card. Then when that player shuffles, you may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. Oh, that's so stupidly broken. It's like, okay, you can't have Soul Ring, but I automatically get Soul Ring. So basically what Sol Goodman says is I definitely begin the game with Soul Rings. Okay, how many people can you do this to? You may begin the game by searching target. Okay, only one person. So you screw over one person. But everyone else is okay. David Sinclair, the Bank. Oh, I love the sound of this. The Bank of Dominaria. I can't wait to see this. The Bank. Hope you're still around, David. Bank. No! Where is it? Bank of... Am I spelling it wrong? Oh, you spelled Dominaria. Oh, you called it Dominara. Oh, I don't know if you mean Dominaria or you actually mean Dominara, but we'll call it Dominara. The Bank of Dominara. Legendary land, it is a mortgage broker. When Bank of Dominara enters the battlefield, place 1 credit counter on each of X other lands you control. You gain X -1 mana of any color. During your untap step, remove a credit counter from one of your lands. That land doesn't untap this turn. If you are unable to do this, destroy Bank of Dominara. When this card leaves the battlefield, exile all lands you control with credit counters on them. Place 1 credit counter on each of X other lands you control. That's hilarious. When this comes, don't we just screw over our own lands? This literally just screws our lands. Enter the battlefield, place a credit counter on each of X other lands you control. You gain X -1 mana of any color. Don't I just lose land? Or am I gaining? Is this supposed to gain me mana? You gain X. Isn't this supposed to like X +1 mana of any color? Looks like X, or is it X = 1? I just see X-1. During your untap step, remove a credit counter from one of your lands, and the land doesn't untap. You have to pay your debts around here. And when it leaves, I don't understand why if it leaves the battlefield, exile all lands you control with credit counters. Taking it with it. Yeah, the mortgage broker. You gain mana, but pay it back 1 mana at a time. I suppose so. Okay, I like it. I think it's a bit of a weird card, though. Arcanus Ultra, Connor McLeod with another 3-mana Indestructible. We don't have enough Indestructibles on the show. Uh, 3 mana for a 1/1 human warrior with Indestructible. Wasn't Brash Taunter also Indestructible? But it was also pathetic. Tap, exile target creature, then put a number of +1/+1 counters on Connor McLeod equal to the exiled creature's power. This is absolutely insane. What? We have an Indestructible? We just exile creatures and, like, buff our creature? A deck can have only 1 card named Connor McLeod. Well, I would hope so. It's pronounced McLeod. Well, not very meh looking here. Exile target creature, then put a number of +1/+1 counters on this thing equal to the creature's power. This card's insane. This card is absolutely bonkers. Okay, we got Bryce with the Mana Closet. Mana Closet, 0 mana. It's an artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, we got to flip a coin. And then if you lose the flip, tap Mana Closet. It doesn't untap during its untap step. Oh, it's interesting. So we are literally only getting the mana half the time. I actually think at the beginning of your it turns the game way more into Nikachu doesn't know who Connor McLeod is. No, I have no idea. I'm an uncultured swine. So this card creates just a lot of variance, because if you're really lucky with your flips, you're going to get a ton of mana. If you're unlucky with your flips, you just don't get mana. You have to flip a coin. If you lose the flip, tap Mana Closet. It doesn't untap during your untap step. You could still use it at the time. If you could play it at instant speed, you could just guarantee it. But then next turn, it doesn't untap. So I like that. And then you still have to win a flip so that it can untap in the future. Oh my god, Hello says, I'm literally playing A Link to the Past while watching this, and that sound bit you just used confused me. Yeah, like, you just walk over some random grass? What have I unlocked here? All right. Can't believe it. How well did we do on the bingo card? We did pretty good. We got 4 bingos. Bingo was his name. No 15 mana card. That's amazing. That would have made 2 more bingos on this card. Well, as usual, my coffee crew, it's another week for the custom card stream. And as usual, if you want to be part of the stream, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon or a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, and of course, super chatting so other people are part of the show. And thank you so much, my coffee crew, for being here today, for contributing, being the content for everybody else. We have thousands of people Watch the card. Look at the cards created by all of you. Thanks to Ferginka for the bingo card. And thanks to everyone else for being here, like Koo and David Sinclair. Oh, you gain mana, but pay it back one mana at a time. Thanks so much for letting us know, David. The Jaded, Arcanus Ultra, Pedgeman, Winter Fox. We got Emma. Oh my God, hello. Cameron Cole, The Jaded, Benjamin Berkeley, Steve Cooper. We got Majra, Avatar. Whoa. Oinky the Ink, The Damn Draws, Benovsky. Because as usual, my coffee crew, you guys are the show. So as usual, keep up brewing those coffees and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves and I will see you at the next cup.